welcome to Castle Mac and the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Part 2.
Ooh, ghosts.
Ghosts?
So,
there's no actual ghosts, right?
No.
Not like real life.
We'll see. So, in our first installment, the characters, all coming from different backgrounds. Gunn, a half-orc barbarian.
/ skeleton scholar.
Skeleton scholar. Had lived a hard life. Grew up in the steppes of Korgir, was captured by slavers, became a smuggler, privateer, maybe. Eventually lost his taste for the sea, and made his way to the land and became a mercenary for a time. He ended up in the capital city, well, not the capital, he ended up in one of the largest cities of the country of the Prelacy of Delshalan. The fortress of Mox-lein is a fortress city that kind of is built in the mountains and kind of is a like a barrier, not natural, but an actual barrier between the east and the west of the continent. Traveled there, was moving around the city streets at night, and this anchor caught his eye in a shop window. As he was staring at it, two figures came bursting out of the shop. Enter handsome, right?
That was us, darling.
Enter Tolbar and Bairos. On the run from an organization called the Primers Guild. They are alchemists who kind of weave alchemy and magic together for pretty spectacular effects. The three of them kind of literally stumbled together, dealt with their pursuers who were soldiers of the Prelacy, banded together, made their way out of the city through some help of a smuggler friend. Former friend.
Jerome.
This is
Paul
courtesy of Corey. Thank you, Corey. Thanks, Corey.
A.K.A. Black Rat.
No, Black Rat, that's his name. His name.
A lot of people about to know his real name soon.
And found out that they were being pursued through the sewers of Mox-lein by the Primers Guild. Managed to, with some guidance from Black Rat, more luck than anything else, break through some of the walls that the city had put up to kind of stop smuggling in and out of the city, and evaded a construct of swords of some type, and managed to escape out into the Prelacy proper. As you were escaping, Bairos mentioned that he had a friend, a confidant maybe, an old associate, in the city of Port Zorgosa. Port Zorgosa is a independent city. It's not part of the Prelacy of Delshalan. It's just separate. It's very near the borders of the Prelacy, but it is among a lot of the kingdoms in here. There are along the borders, along the edges of the kingdoms. Typically there are free cities that don't really participate in the politics and such, and are beholden to those countries. But their influence obviously still progresses. So the last we saw of the group, you were making your way across some of the rolling grasslands south of Mox-lein, and I guess you guys had agreed to stay together. Strength in numbers seemed to work well together at the very least.
We had some research to do.
Yep. Bairos and...
you promised.
Absolutely part of the plan.
Yep. Bairos, so one of the things that happened was Bairos had stolen these formulae from the Alchemist Guild, or the Primers Guild, and had used them as a promise to Tolbar to help explore his powers more.
With the caveat after the heist didn't quite go well that I wasn't completely guaranteeing what we could accomplish.
Right. You didn't actually get the exact books that you wanted, but you got whatever you could grab. Right.
Quick thank you to Longshot. 4 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
We will definitely be using these, I'm sure.
I think on the road I would have tried to also taught some meditation.
To control, right. Because you saw, one of the things that happened during the fight was Tolbar's magic, you lost control of it. At least it seemed that way. The effects weren't detrimental to the party or anyone else around you, but you could see in his eyes almost kind of a bit of panic when his magic went wild.
I don't think I'm a good teacher.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, clear your fucking head. I mean, no.
And I'd probably be stubborn because a good thing happened because I wasn't controlling it. So I was like, it'll help
Maybe
us.
I just don't control it.
And then I'll get fiery shields.
And you did. You got a fiery shield.
That was pretty cool.
Like, but what if you got a fiery shield inside your own butt? It can happen.
I've had fiery things in there.
Oh, I've had my fair share of fire butts. So would it be spicy?
Spicy rats.
Sausages that come in.
Ah, the old spicy mud butt.
Spicy mud pies.
From eating rats the normal way.
That's right.
Right, that's right. Rat's the normal way.
I do think Gunn would have attached that chain to the end of the anchor now, and I think when he fights, he keeps it wrapped around his arm.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not actually like... I mean, you can kind of fasten it to it, kind of like the upper part of the anchor, right? But to actually get it, what you probably want to do is find some way to get it, like, welded, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
To the bottom.
I will put on a small dab of bindall from the chain to the end of the anchor.
That'll do it.
So
Cool.
I will...
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll be, spackling it on. And I'll be like,
Give me a dex check while you do it.
okay.
Nice. Please glue your fingers together.
Don't have many wish spells around. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're good.
Corey.
Yeah, no
Thanks,
problem.
Corey.
Shout out to
Yep.
Corey there.
Yep. You didn't glue your hand to your face.
Yeah, because I'm also talking the whole time. Be like,
Sneeze and go, oh!
I'll be like, oh yeah, anything outside of pretty much a wish spell, or well, unless you have the anti-binding agent, which the primer's good would have, but we won't have. Oh yeah, if you got this on your fingers.
So he had stolen, when he stole the formulae books, he grabbed some alchemical formulas. Some alchemical vials that were stored inside the vaults.
I think Gunn would definitely be holding the tip of the chain and swinging the
Dude, it
anchor
doesn't
around his
move.
head.
Yeah, it's just, it is, I mean, you look at it and really all you did was just kind of like glue the end to it. I mean, you grab it and I mean, you probably try to break it.
Yeah.
But no.
Cool.
It's on there.
Now you have 10-foot reach.
Oh man.
Well, so actually what Jeff did is pretty sweet. I think it's extremely fair without being crazy broken. It gives me 10-foot reach and 3d6 damage, but I attack with disadvantage if I swing from the chain. So it's either a maul, which is 2d6 regular attack, or
normally.
swing the chain, 10-foot reach, and 3d6 damage.
awesome.
Which
I like it.
Gun will use, especially with reckless attack. Like, I'll
It
roll
just
normal,
encourages him to use reckless attack more.
but I'm just standing there like, swinging it around.
If you're trying to test it, I'll be like, Gunn, you seem strong. Maybe the strongest I've ever seen.
Oh man, he would slowly turn like, that's right.
I bet you 5 gold. You can't break it.
All right, you're on!
Just give me a strength check. See if you hurt yourself doing it.
You did.
Yeah, that's gonna not be great.
Okay.
It's an 11.
Okay, give me a deck save.
Okay. Is this an effect I can see?
No.
Alright.
Well, it's kind of unexpected.
Oh, that's pretty good. That will be a 18.
All right, well, you have your hand on it, and you're pulling up, and you're sweaty. I mean, you guys have been out walking all day, and your hand just up the length of the chain, and you stumble back, and there's like a bit of a cliff behind you. Not like a sheer drop, but more like a roll. And you go back, and your foot and the gravel underneath your feet slips a little bit, and your eyes kind of go wide as you start to tip over. But just amazingly, you just manage to put your hand down and catch it and kind of roll to the side before you tumble head over heels down this hill.
He can't hang with, except he'd be like, oh, it's just because my hands is all slippery. It's the rat that we was eating. I can't. Once I get my palms all dried out, should be able to.
Okay, I'll tell you what, because I'm the given type, we'll give you till the time we reach the port to break it, before the deal's done. 5 gold to me, otherwise.
Seems fair. Unrelated note, does anyone have a file?
I'm afraid not.
Let me check. I don't think I do have a file. I just have the old
Imagine that.
thieves' kit the normal way.
I think he'll whenever no one's looking, he's...
Yeah, I mean, people aren't looking, but they hear.
Yeah. Gosh, nerd.
You fail. And so as you guys are continuing your journey, you know that there are 2 ways, and you can choose this yourself if you want to change. From Mox-lein to get to Port Zorgosa, you can go through Tarjad, which is a coastal. It's one of the major port cities. It's actually probably the only. It is the only port city of the Prelacy. So they have like a fairly large naval fleet there. They have shipyards, the whole 9 yards, and that's basically where their fleet is. But it's a major city. It's not as big as Mox-lein, but it is a major city and it's a port city. So you feel like you could probably get lost within the streets if you want to go that way, because there is once you get there, there's another road that leads up. There's a series of these falls called the Emerald Falls that kind of cascade down near the city, and actually the falls are in between Port Zorgosa and Tarjad. But there is a road that leads up and a bridge that comes up, so you have to kind of do a loop around to get there. It'll take you a lot less time to take that route, or you could just try to go overland and try to find the road, but none of you have actually been there before, so that might be... you might get lost if you try that.
I've had just about enough of shitties. If we want to just move through quick as we can.
As in, try to find our way, but not hit Tarjad.
Right.
Yes.
Try to basically go north of it. There's a fairly vast, you know of it, you just don't know what it's, the name or thing. There's a forest north of it, and then it's just rocky hills.
Especially if they's looking for you. They could have sent riders, could have got word.
And, I mean, just give me a deception roll as you guys are kind of moving throughout the days.
Let me tell you what that is. Deception. That's an 11.
Okay.
Thank you, Kai Hawk. I appreciate that.
Give me insights, the 2 of you.
Are you deceiving us, you piece of shit? No, I'm just messing.
I will.
17?
Please get an at 20 right now. 17.
Okay. So, you don't say anything, but you are constantly looking over your shoulder. Like, you're trying to be cool about it, but you're like, there's no way Eris and the other masters are going to let you get away with this.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. You're pretty confident that you got out, because the area that was sealed off, which, in fact, the Alchemist Guild did seal those tunnels off, those parts of the sewers, they probably don't even think that you went down that way. Unless Black Rat gave you up. But you figure he did give you up because they came that particular area. But my point is, beyond that, it's like no man's land. Like, no one's been through those areas.
So on one level, I'm like, rationally, that's a large area to cover. On the other hand, probably think about the things that my former master has done to people or enemies.
And her, mental state.
How
the way her mind works. So just give me an intelligence check to kind of think of what... Trying to outguess what she's thinking you would do, right?
That's a 19.
So, before any of this ever happened, before you tried to do this heist, you knew that she would probably try to come after you.
Yeah.
And you kind of planted you planted such subtle seeds of where you planned to go. They weren't things you ever said. It might be like notes she wrote on the paper, but then left the paper and because you know she would like maybe take an imprint of the paper.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that.
My kind of lady.
Right. And you basically made it indicate that you were actually going to make your way through the gates and head west towards Tangiso. Mm-hmm. You're going the complete opposite direction.
Yep.
So you're pretty confident that your misdirection.
At least bought us a little time.
I figure it probably bought you a little bit of time. So and if that changes your mind in any way, but it still doesn't stop you from being very
hearing
stressed.
that, I'd be like, not that I think it should matter much. They probably won't get us, but yeah, you know what, Gunn, I think that's great. We'll go overland and try to find our way. It'll be fine. It'll be definitely fine.
As long as you keep looking over your shoulder.
What?
You have been what seems like awful nervous. Understandable. It seems like pretty rough fellas, but Gunn and me anchor here, we won't let them get into our knees. Pat it. Start polishing it again.
That's the attitude I like. I'll level with you guys. Usar. That was my former master. And, well, she's not the forgiving type. But I planted a lot of little seeds thinking that we're going to go to Tang Eso. Obviously we're not.
I've dealt with the not-so-forgiving type before.
Right. You look like it. That's how you probably got so tough. Not tough enough to break that chain, but tough. Definitely
This
tough.
is some magical bullshit.
It is.
I think I'll just reluctantly take out 5 coins and throw them to him.
Give him 5 gold, just say screw
If
it.
there's anything not some magical bullshit, old Gunn could do it.
I'll give you one.
Oh, well, thanks.
What was that?
Be like, but
What was it?
gave him one of them.
Was he in on it?
Well,
Was he in on the... Was this a swindle? Was this a swindle on old Gunn?
Swindle?
Old stupid Gunn?
you were outmatched.
Yeah. You best be keeping an eye over your shoulder. I'm just kidding, mate. I wouldn't harm you. But I am upset about a swindle. So...
It was just a bit of fun. I'll buy a round. On me. Technically on you, but on me now.
Well, I'm still
Let that one
drinking.
out.
Alright, so
We'll go the...
you gotta go overland?
I think we'll go over land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will someone give me a survival check then?
Pass.
Who got the
Well, you're a
best?
barbarian!
Yeah, I'm a
got a
zero on
zero.
survival.
I'm a +3, so I guess it's me.
You're trained in it?
No.
Oh, you said,
No,
you're
I
a
just
monk.
happen to
You're a
have
monk.
the highest.
Go ahead and use long shots.
Well, are you proficient in
Divine
it with 0? You're not proficient in it.
Nope.
Okay, so no one can assist.
So that's a 14.
Okay, it's not too bad. So there's a couple times where you feel like you're going north and you feel like you might be heading towards the Incaran Way, which is the main east-west trade route across the continent. It's also what all of the prelacy would use for most of the trade way through this area. But you kind of realize that you're going that way and you kind of veer off. And then to the south, you can actually see a vast forest that you kind of, in your mind, is north of Tarjorjad. So you feel like you're kind of using the two of those as kind of a north-south boundary in traveling. So the first night that you camp, do you guys have rations or anything like that?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, 100%. I'll tell you exactly what's in my inventory right now.
Actually, if I was planning on a heist and to get out, I do think I would have packed some rations.
For you.
I do.
For me.
I have
Yeah.
1 day of rations.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I have 5. No, I have 10 of those. I have 10 days worth of
Okay.
rations.
Okay.
I definitely didn't pack any for him.
I'll have to check, sorry. I don't have that sheet.
It's if you look in...
Did you take the explorer's pack? That's
I think so.
Okay, then you have 10 days, I think, in there. That's probably what you have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is it's getting on towards night. You're kind of north. You're in these kind of rocky hilllands north of the forest, And just roll perception checks.
15.
A nat 1.
That'd be a 7.
Okay.
I'm brooding over getting swindled, and I'm looking at the connection.
Trying to figure it out. It's mystifying.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's missed it.
to be honest, you haven't probably let on, but it's probably no less mystifying to you than it is to him. It's not 100% surprising because you were in Mox-lein and you know that like alchemy and the alchemist guilds as a whole. And I won't get into it now, but I think I sent you the link on it.
Yeah,
There's a whole like hierarchy of different guilds and organizations within there.
Oh man, zombie jumping in. Thank you, sir. Mr.
you,
Mitch. Appreciate that.
Wow, two
more.
Thank you, zombies.
We're gonna need them, because I suck. My skills. I can
So
punch
you,
things.
you find a decent place to camp, but you kind of look around and you notice some like deep like hoof prints in and around. It looks like it's probably rained in the last couple days, and it's kind of like an open kind of short grass area. And you look down. They don't look real big. They're probably like maybe like that big, but they're deep. So whatever it was had
Heavy.
small hooves, but was heavy.
Like, well, that's awkward.
Anyone have knowledge nature?
Nope.
All right, you can just roll it. You're not going to get as much information, but if you get above a 10.
I got an 18.
13.
You think it might be some kind of pig, which could be good for food. I mean, it would be a hot meal instead of...
Bice. I think it might be some sort of swine or pig. Look at it. Little tiny hooves, but a fat body. Like this. And then
Makes a
fat
pretty good
body.
impression of a pigeon. Oh, it's oinking.
Oh yeah, give us the oinks.
From your experience and yours, the two of you are not savvy in the wild.
Right.
I mean, you are barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that like just regular pigs, like domesticated pigs, they're fine.
Right.
No
but
danger.
boars are nasty.
Boars could be dangerous, but they are
Good
a
eating.
delicacy. In fact, from where you're from, one of the delicacies you had in your village was this boar jerky that they would make, and it was really good because it would last a long time, and the flavor was just amazing.
Well, here's the thing. That's not gonna be one of them fancy shitty pigs that just lets you come up and scratch under his chinny chin. That's gonna be a boar. Probably a big one. So if we're gonna go for it, it's gonna take all three of us, and it could be dangerous with them tusks, but I imagine an anchor to his face ought to put him down. And then we can do some pretty good eating if we could find him.
What do you say, Tolbar? I like it.
I'm a bit worried about his skeleton horns, but
I'm not worried about that right now. I'm too hungry. That sound you've been hearing, it weren't thunder. That was my stomach. I'm tired of these feckin' dry rations. They get stuck in my teeth. They taste like nothing. Mostly like air and grain.
You know how to prepare the jerky.
Yeah. But if you finds me that bored, if we get some kilt, start a fire, we'll be eating good tonight. All the fat dripping off the meats on the side.
I mean, it does sound appealing just because you're all pretty stressed being on the run. Having a good hot meal seems, doesn't seem unreasonable. But your choice.
Kai, one more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll be like,
Thank you.
Well, I leave it to you, Captain, my captain. I don't know a damn thing about hunting a bar.
Yeah, you can tell neither one of them.
Yeah. All right,
I'll
well,
help you fight it.
here we go then. Let's go find us a boar. We're gonna spread out just a little bit. We're gonna try to make some noise. We gotta find him. We gotta rustle him out.
So one of the things that your tribe did was they would corral them,
sure.
and they would actually dig a pit and try to force the boar into a pit, and then like seal off the pit, and then you could just hit them with spears or shoot them with ranged weapons. So you don't have to do that, but that's one.
I imagine we don't have shovels. I mean, that's some kit that we probably don't have.
Probably not,
That would probably take a really long time.
or an anchor.
I guess an anchor could dig.
Or just look for something that might work.
I think I could all...
You could also put even a small depression, put some sticks around it to try to.
I'll relay some of that. Like, here's the thing that works for them. You can't just walk up to him, say excuse me, and punch him in the face. You have to try to guide him, right? Like a herd. We're trying to get him to go in the direction we're trying to tell him. It's a little bit short if you can follow me. We tries to get him to move in a direction we want him to move in, where he goes into some sort of trap. Now, we could dig a pit. I'm not sure if any of you boys has got the backs for digging, and the backbones. Anyways, what we can do is we can find a spot, maybe around some rocks, where we can get him cornered. Once he's cornered...
Roll an intelligence check.
17.
You think you might have a solution?
I think we can do that. Also, could get a bit of a pit going on. Let's find some rocks.
There are plenty. Yeah. In fact, you find kind of like just like a big wedge of a rock, and there's a bunch of rocks kind of like it looks like either it shot up or shot like either a volcano dropped it or it just erupted out of the ground from an earthquake or whatever. But there's a ton of rocks around it.
I'll kind of rework Earth into malleable things and just toss. You know what I mean? It's like since it fits in a cube, I'll just...
I mean, it takes you some time.
Yeah.
But you just kind of step back and watch, and you can see kind of like the tattoos on his hands, just like, not all of them, just like a certain pattern of them tracing along and bits of energy kind of peeling off of it.
Make them balls and I'll kick them and be like, look at this!
Yeah, I think I'll be leaning against it. Yeah, it must be nice. Me, when I was digging pits, it was with the old-fashioned way, the normal way, but... that's pretty
Digging pits the normal way. Is that the name of the episode?
Yeah.
Pits the normal way.
Pits the normal way. No, but that's pretty helpful. Magic's coming in handy.
And you're pretty fascinated by it, too, because, again, any insight into your magic, which seems to be kind of linked with what he does.
I guess while I'm doing it, I'd be like, hey, why don't you try it? Put your stone hand into there and try to feel the quintessence.
Nothing. Yeah.
Well, you're making a dent in the tiny bit.
Probably like set it
It's
on
like a
fire a
little
little
shovel,
bit.
like a gardener.
What cantrips do you have? I think mostly like attack stuff.
Yeah, Blade Ward,
Firebolt.
Chuck and Grasp, Mage Hand, Ray of Frost.
Oh, Ray of Frost. Okay, yeah, you're not very helpful.
I'll be like, hey, Gunn. With the same balls, I'll be like, think you can knock it that way with your anchor?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely could.
I'm gonna just start lobbing dirt balls at him.
They're making so much goddamn
He'll be
noise.
swinging at him, and
laughing.
when he hits one and gets a good, he's like, "Oh! Did you see that? Did you see that?"
I saw nothing. I think I'd interrupt one with a Ray of Frost while it's like
Oh shit! Yeah, we came up with a new game.
Yeah, we did.
Ice ball.
Ice ball, ice dirt ball.
Even though you guys are screwed out, Gunn probably really loves it. Like, he's like, hey, do you guys think we could do the dirt ball Ray of Frost
thing, a Ray of Frost thing again? All right, well, you have a good time digging a hole.
as one does.
That's what it does out in the wild. And with you, you're able to mold it perfectly. There's like a ramp that the pig would go down,
And
it's
if
steep and he can't get up
if
the
there's some
sides.
sticks and stuff I can find, I think he would put them down to where they're sort of angled, so the pig comes across them, and then they're sort of angled.
And then you have like a big boulder that you can just roll into the thing and seal him in. So it doesn't take long. You have your pit and you finally corral the pig in. There's no real problems, and the pig, he's just squealing down the pig. It's got deep like reddish brown fur, and it's like hairs up on its back. These huge tusks that would gore the crap out of you.
Gunn would 100% sing a hunting song in Orcish when they go off, and I think he would take some mud and do 3 lines across his face.
Nice. All savage.
Yep.
I like it.
I'll be like, seems a bit like overkill, but I like it.
It helps the pig die.
Give me perception checks.
No.
Oh boy.
I definitely ain't gonna. I'm fucking around too much on the top of the
10.
rock.
Okay. You were all surprised.
I got a 6.
As the noise from your raucous laughter and ice rock dirt ball and the pig squealing
Trademarked.
has seemed to
This should be
have distracted something. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're kind of, the pig's in there. The two of you are kind of around the pit, kind of looking at it, and you're trying to decide how you're going to finish it off so you can eat it. And you're kind of leaning up against the rock, and the two of you kind of look over, and there's just like this shadow appears behind them. And there's this...
Behind the pig?
No,
or behind him? Gotcha.
Coming from around the rock itself.
I see.
As you kind of look, you hear this... You look at it, and you see just like... It looks like it's standing about probably 9 or 10 feet tall, maybe even taller than that. And it just looks like a bear. But then it makes this kind of bird-like noise out of its mouth.
Cool.
As an owlbear attacks you. Surprise.
Nice.
I thought it was going to be a...
Oh no, I'm saving that.
Octorilla.
Octorilla, that's in the bank. Alright.
Was that an Nishi?
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Wasn't a
initiative.
surprise round, I
Damn it,
imagine.
I did leave my thing here, didn't I? Oh,
Yes,
there it is.
it's right there.
Whoa.
Careful with the mic.
I'm going to give this to Gunn
Oh, thank you,
for
my dude.
playing along.
Alright.
Well, no point being stingy. I'll give this to Tolbar for getting in on the game of... by changing the game with a third dimension.
Okay. Well, I didn't have one, but I will
Trying
give
to
it.
explain to somebody.
Oh, there it
So
is.
one of you throws it and the other one has to hit it. But that's just
That's
the
not
start.
it. Here's the thing. Here's where it gets interesting.
We're inventing anchor ball to be iterated on.
Okay, Bairos.
I got a 12.
Okay. Tolbar.
13.
I got a 15.
Look at you.
Back to the natural order of initiative things. I'm so taking alert.
Alert's
Just
so
like get that
good.
plus
It's hard
5.
not to, right?
Alert is so good.
Unfortunately, it goes first, and you're surprised. So it's first
Okay.
attack. As it just comes around, and you see its hands just kind of reach around.
Tolbar, look out!
Oh, that's a big bear.
I think a 21.
Nope.
Yeah,
Okay.
double check that. Ooh, Red Bully, thank you, sir. 7 months subscription, thanks. That's awesome.
You take 13 points of damage as it just lifts you up and tosses you into the pit with the pig.
Oh, God.
Oh god, I
so
just got
it's trying to
pitted.
do it. So give me athletics.
That should be fine.
No,
I will tell you it got a 19 if that helps.
I'm not gonna bother. So 2 plus -1.
You just go. He just throws you end over end into the pit. Give me a deck save.
That's I'll use it for this. So my dex is pretty good.
We're just gonna do this. Theater of the
Yeah. No problem.
Oh my god.
Wow.
10?
No. So you land prone. You only take a point of damage as you hit the soft earth.
Cool.
But you see the boar in there with you.
Cool.
And it just... it's actually looking into the pit also. Like, that seemed to be probably what attracted it, was the panic sound of
Trying
the
to
boar.
eat that boar.
And it just seems to be... It's kind of looking at the pit, and it just kind of, like, tentatively hits, like, the spike, the wood thing. And it doesn't look like it's sure it's going to go down there, and then it spots the two of you.
And we're up on the rocks.
Yeah, you guys are, say...
Still sitting, like...
No, you're actually on... You're on kind of around the edge of on this far side of the pit.
Oh, gotcha.
Looking down into the pit, and it's on the far side of the pit.
Yeah.
Near the rock.
Gotcha.
So it's maybe 25 feet from where you
Gotcha.
are right now. But Gunn, you were up.
Well, I would like to rage.
That sounds like a good idea.
I think he'll just pick up the anchor, and he will rush the thing. And I think he will be swinging it by the chain around his head. I'm doing it. I'm reckless attack.
Okay.
I roll normal.
All right, so you just, I mean, it's 25 feet from you, so you have more than enough movement.
Yeah.
to get
So
there. And
he'll
it's 10
rush
foot
up,
reach.
just taking huge strides, and start hearing the whistle of the
And
chain.
it sees it coming, and it actually takes a step back
Cool.
from this, because it's pretty intimidating.
Well, that's still a 12. That's a 12. Wait, is it a 12? Yeah, that's a 12.
Right in front of its face.
Heartbreaking.
So that's it for you?
That's it for me, and I did attack recklessly.
I know.
Oh, I know.
Tolbar. You're laying prone. The pig's like 10 feet from you.
Is it trying to...
Oh, it looks like it's going to charge at you for 100%.
In a bad way?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's just makes
It'll protect you.
What are my options for getting out of the pit around me? I mean, is it...
You can try to climb out of the pit. So it'd be an athletics check, and then to kind of get over the spikes, it would be athletic. I mean, it'd probably be acrobatics, probably. To kind of...
the pig protect, the pig attack. Most of all, the pig make a good snack.
Well, first I'll cast Mirror Image on myself.
Okay,
Nice.
it'll be an action, so you won't be able to climb out if you do that. Okay. Well, no, you can't. You can't. It'll just... You're not going to be able to get completely out of the pit. But you might be able to get high enough that the pig can't get to you.
Okay. Then I will try and get partially de-pitted.
Okay.
Oh,
give
what's
me...
up? Coconut Monkey. Tony
Wow.
coming in.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Tony.
So give me athletics. See how high up out of the pit you can get it.
We got. I got a negative on athletics. 12.
Okay. Yep. So you managed to pull yourself up, and it's kind of like, I'm gonna have it going the same as the owlbear. It can't get up to where you are, but you're kind of precariously hanging up there at this point. So you're done. Bairos.
Can I kind of hop along the rocks that we have, or like what's the elevation situation that I could gain?
You want to get as high as you want. So basically, there's this big slab of rock that goes up about 15 feet. And you're kind of like on this side of it, you could run around up the back of it without a problem.
I'll go ahead and do that. I'll just.
It's like this. I'm not even gonna make you make a roll.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the old Iron Partisan
Oh,
on
nice.
that owlbear. So as I go, I'll kind of run my hand along the rock and start pulling up ore.
It's exactly, yeah. And you just start like you hear the rock like cracking and shattering as you just start extracting metal out of the rock, and it just starts weaving around your hand, almost like liquid metal.
Tight. I will kind of jump up in the air like this, but like kind of do the splits as I'm throwing it, and I will use this.
Yeah, you want to hit with that.
Let's see, but that's a +6. That's a 14.
That hits. This is what I love this for.
2.
Yeah,
It's
it's so
just
nice.
doing like hit points and things like that.
Alright, so I've got my 3.
Oh man, thank you, Cheswick student. Yes.
So what he's playing a variant of the that we worked on of the
4 elements.
the monk of the 4 elements, where he uses in his case earth and metal.
Big thank you to Cheswick student. First
Thank you.
time subscriber, I
Thank you
believe.
very much.
Appreciate that.
Welcome.
That is 26 damage on the
Holy moly!
Man, at level 4.
You rolled 4 from max, right?
Yep.
Good lord.
Wow.
Okay, well, he comes up, and you kind of catch him out of the corner of your eye, and you saw him do it the one time before, but you see this kind of almost like molten metal turn into this large iron barbed spear, and he just throws it. And the owlbear is not even, almost like he's not even paying attention, and it just goes all the way through the creature's body. And it just howls. And blood just splatters on the other side, and it kind of goes down to a knee for a second, but then just kind of brings itself back up. You're still swinging the
Sweet.
hammer around you. Back off.
Anchor.
There we go. All right. It is hurt badly, but it is not out. It goes into a bit of a berserking rage, and
I'm ready.
sees you right in front of it. It's not even sure where the spear came from. It just sees an enemy right in front of it. Alright. So his first attack. That was advantaged. 22. Pretty sure that hits
Let me
you.
check. Yeah. Beats my 14.
No.
So that is 14 damage, halved.
Okay.
And then the second one.
7.
Sorry, that was his beak. Sorry, then each clawing here now. 11.
Damage or to hit?
No, to hit
Oh.
with advantage.
Yeah, that will not do. That will not do, pig.
I mean,
Yeah,
so
it's
it bites into you and kind of tears into your shoulder a bit, and you just kind of take the hammer and just slam it up under his chin, staggers him back. He's bleeding profusely out of his side. Does not look like he's in good shape after his terrifying hit.
All right. I'll just growl a little, pull in the hammer, choke up on it a little bit. The hammer. Anchor. You got me calling it a hammer. He'll just take a step forward and try to swing it right into him. I will attack recklessly.
Okay.
Regular old attack. Oh my god, I'm rolling like garbage. Good job. I miss.
Less than you did last time?
Same as I did last time.
Yeah. Okay, well, again, it's in a frenzy. So are you.
Yeah.
You realize that, I mean, even in your rage, you realize if this thing gets a hold of you, I mean, it'll probably tear you apart.
Yeah.
So you're almost using the anchor defensively.
Yeah, cool.
Just keeping it at bay, and stepping back and swinging it, and the thing's like pulling back. Tolbar. So you're hanging precariously. Just give me a dex check to stay it and not slide back down into the waiting boar's mouth.
And there's 3 others. There's 4 of you hanging, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there's 4.
It's just a dex check. Okay.
Or actually, technically, it's acrobatics or athletics even.
I'm gonna re-roll it. We didn't change that rule, right?
Yeah, you just can't re-roll things with advantage.
Oh my god.
Even
Cool.
All right, your footing goes out from under you, and you slide back down, and the pig was waiting for you, and it's going to attack you. But you'll still have an action after this.
Oh, good.
Should be fine.
Roll
your d20 first to see if it's him or the image.
Right. It's the image.
Yep.
And then I got to roll to hit the image.
And you roll to hit the image, which is just it's 10 plus his dex.
So you slide down, and it just lurches towards you,
Cool.
and you're kind of like, oh, it's coming right at me, but it just jumps right to your right and slams its face into the dirt, and just gets a snout full of dirt, and looks a little confused after slamming its head into the side of the earthen pit.
Cool.
So you can spend half your move to stand up, and then you have an action and half of your move left. You can try to scramble back up the thing again. You don't think that the pig is stunned from smashing his face into the wall, so you can climb without drawing an opportunity attack if you want to try that.
Then I'll just dash.
Okay, so it's athletics. You're actually not dashing. You're just using the last of your bit of your move.
Okay. So 11.
It's only 10 feet to the top, so.
11?
Yeah, you scramble back up. You still have an action now.
And so I'm at the top now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're still hanging. You're kind of holding on. What happened is you were holding one of these spikes, and your feet kind of went out, and the spike just came out of the earth.
Gotcha.
And
you only got one hand.
Yeah.
Get yourself.
That's right.
That's a good point.
Then I will...
Your stone hand it won't hold you enough to grasp anything, but you could make...
Like a stranger. The stone stranger.
Yeah.
You could try to work around a branch like the old G.I. Joe.
Yeah. He's got to put a weapon in his hand.
It was made for another action figure. It's like, hold on.
Oh my
So
gosh.
how far away am I from the owlbear?
Like maybe 15 feet. Because you're like in the middle of the pit, and he's on the other side. And he's up above you,
Right.
And he's swinging that. Actually, he's swinging that the anchor around, and it's about 4 or 5 feet from you as he's swinging it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He's just,
I guess, can I Ray of Frost him? Is he?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Then I will...
No
do
penalty. He's large. They're kind of moving around. You have a clear shot on him.
Nice! So, 2d8. Why can I never find that?
Crit up the jam.
Or 10?
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, you hit him like right, it's dead center in the chest, and just the ice just freezes the fur, goes up kind of like the side of his face, like the drool and spittle coming out of his mouth are little icicles hanging off his mouth.
Cool.
And you're in front of him. You see a little bit of fear in the creature's face now.
Nice.
I think after having played so much Ice Anchor Ball, I really gotten dialed in on my Ray of Frost.
Yeah.
Here,
It really helped.
Nice. God damn it.
Ice anchor ball.
Ice anchor ball.
All right, Bairos.
Okay. I'll. Oh hell! I think he's actually having a pretty good time. I will jump off and down two
Okay.
to attack the owlbear.
Okay. You can either give me athletics if you're trying to like kind of parkour your way down, or acrobatics if you're kind of doing a dive and roll into the
Just to kind of dive and roll, I'll go acrobatics. I'll re-roll that.
We're doing awesome.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, as you start to go up, some of the stone that you'd pulled up was kind of in the debris on your feet, and your feet slip for a second, and then you just push off with your left foot and just launch yourself off, do a dive roll, come up right behind it, and you're ready to go.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, freaking hell. All right, I will attack with an unarmed strike for my action.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Wow. That's 7 damage.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and spend my last key point to Fury of Blows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's... let's see. That's a 12, so that doesn't get it right.
No.
Are you a +6 on attacks?
Oh, I'm a +5. Might be. No. So, that doesn't get it.
Okay. So you come up behind him. Yep, and you just, as you kind of come up with the roll, you just come up with your knee. Like right into like kind of like the back of his leg, and his leg kind of cripples a little bit as he comes down. He looks around. He does not panic though. He seems to stay and fight. So he's still focused on you.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
He gets advantage.
Just, oh my god, it's faster than I thought.
So bite is a 20, so that'll hit you.
Yeah, that does.
I'll just give you the modified damage.
'Kay.
7. And then he tries to claw you. 18.
Yep.
Just claw. You take 10 more. He's up.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Not doing great, but having it.
All right, well,
Nice.
he basically comes up and he almost does the same thing he did to him, but instead of throwing you into the pit, he kind of he grabs you around and his claws just dig into your sides. And like you can see blood trickling down the sides of his legs. And he picks you up, just goes, and his beak just sinks into your shoulder, pulling out like muscles.
Wow.
Can almost see your skeleton.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of tosses you to the side. Nothing, you're not prone or anything, just kind of cinematic. And you kind of get back up on your feet. You have the...
All right. I think he will kind of hit the ground and stand back up like... And first I'm going to second wind. Bonus action.
Cheating fighter.
Okay, big 4.
That's 8 hit points.
That's true.
Right?
And he's like, oh, I've had enough of this shit! And he's going to come in and attack recklessly. Regular attack. Yeah, that'll do. That'll be 16 points of
Oh,
damage.
yeah, you just crush his poor little owlbear head. And he falls over, rolls into the pit, and the pig's like, and it rolls right on top of the pig. And
Nice.
the pig's like,
I think he'd just be like,
blood kind of, he's got these like lanced wounds in his side that are kind of blood pouring down. You got like a scrape across your chest from the initial attack. Your shoulder's a little bruised, but you don't have to worry about falling back into the pit because the owlbear is literally laying on top of the pig right now.
And seeing that they're both pretty rough, I take a note of like, whew, that was a close one.
and just lean against the anchor like, well, I can't say I've ever eaten owlbear.
Ooh, no, I haven't either.
I think we've earned this feast.
I checked on the pig while I was down there. Still seems good.
So
You
might
checked on
have
it while you
checked
were
on you. Which one of you is talking to me right now?
Both of us.
That's right. Well, no, you have 2 images up.
Oh, right. You got hit pretty hard, didn't you? Seeing
I'll see it and be like, mate, there's only one of them here.
Give me a deception.
Yeah, let's do that. Deception versus insight.
Okay. I got an
Going along
18.
with it, so
Alright. I got a 15.
I also got an 18.
You're kind of like,
Yeah, I think he'll be like, kind of rub his eyes. Like,
and you swing at him a couple times.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't hit anything, and then they
his
just
hands
kind of
are-
disappear.
all right, that's enough of swindling old Gunn. All right. He's like covering in blood, with some snot down his nose. Like, I don't like that. It's not how we're gonna build this friendship on swindling Gunn.
Who are they?
I will fucking throw you down in there with that boy so he can get reacquainted with you.
I like it. No more swindling of Gunn.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
It was a good roast, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good job. I gotta be watching out for that magic's bullshit both of you doing.
I barely even do magic. I do a kind of
You
magic.
pulled a spear from the ground.
That's not magic.
Started adopting your accent there.
That's okay.
I've had enough talking.
I'm a trendsetter.
Let's get these animals gutted.
All right, well-
I'm hungry.
You have a massive feast, and
I'm gonna keep some feathers from the owl bear. In fact, I think he's gonna like adorn part of his leather
like it.
outfit with
Yeah.
parts of with some of the feathers.
I think Bairos might play around a little bit with the beak and be like, "Hey, Gunn, why did you put an anchor through me head?"
Gunn probably would be like, "We don't do that. We're gonna treat these animals with respect. They're gonna provide food, sustenance to us." Like, he'll kind of snatch it away, like suddenly real serious.
all parent-like.
Yeah.
He'll definitely not press it, but I do think he's a little bit like, "Oh, okay."
I think I'd mutter to him, yeah, just like the respect they showed us.
They don't always know better. They didn't have the benefit of growing up with book learning. They're just acting in their natures. I think it would get weirdly like,
Weirdly possessive.
yeah,
of all
he'll be
these.
cutting the tusk like very respectfully.
Keeping an eye on them.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "All right, mate, I appreciate it. Noble sentiment. You got me."
That being said, these are trophies of the hunt. If you want one of these tusks,
I mean,
put it around your
killing
neck.
an owlbear. I mean, that's a badge of honor.
Oh, he's gonna make a necklace out of the claws.
100%.
I'm like, "You go for it, mate."
I mean, they're terrifying monsters.
I'm like, "You should make a hat, though,
I did think about making it.
with the beak." No joking, I'm saying a beak hat, though.
It's respectful.
Now that's respectful.
You get a beak hat and you get the tusk coming up, though.
We'll kind of lay him out in the dirt.
Start thinking about it.
Can I get some more of that glue?
I'd be like, "Oh, not for this, mate." I'd be like, "I'm telling you, this is one of the most expensive substances known in the country. Just regular style put it together.
All right.
I'll tell
it's
you
gonna
what,
take some time.
never mind, I'll give you some of it because I know I made you sore talking out the owl bear's beak and all. And that hurt your feelings, and I'm sorry about it. So, or go ahead and use the most expensive substance known in existence to make you a beak hat.
Yeah, but what would he do without a beak hat?
I think it's just there, like, okay. I think I will make a beak tusk.
I will use as little as possible
It
to
probably
put
takes
this
just a
together.
drop, I imagine.
So how many doses did I give you?
I think we had 7 ounces. One I think had 4 in it, or wait, was it 11? Did one have 4 and one have 7, or did one have 3 and one have? I think.
Is it a D6 plus 1 per?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. D6 plus 1. I think it might have been 11. Now that I think, I think one had 7 and one had 4.
I know I rolled 4 for 1. Yeah, I think you're right. So you left. So you've used 2.
Used 2 of them. Okay, so I have
Yeah.
9 ounces left.
And you wrote down the acid, right?
Alkahest. One
Alkahest,
Alkahest.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna take a short break. We'll be back for more fun. See you soon.
Oh, More hat crafting.
Welcome back.
And we're back.
So, to recap, we've invented a new sport.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. What is it? Ice anchor ball?
Ice anchor ball.
Yep.
Ice anchor ball.
Right?
Yep.
We'll just have to work out the logistics on it a bit,
we'll
of
get
course.
Well, the rules definitely shift.
Yeah.
I will constantly be trying to be like, no, but we said last time that I get 3 points.
What happens is, if you passes the squiggle line, yes, but if... Let's make it up as we go.
And you have a new hat. Mm-hmm. Or helmet, whatever you want to call it. Hat-like
apparatus.
Beak.
I'm probably not so
beak boar.
Here.
Beak boar hat.
Beak boar. Beak
Jonathan
boar.
Beak boar. Confident.
Oh my god.
That's a Chernobyl thing. Got an owlbear beak.
Alright, well, you continue on, and actually, your navigation was decent enough that you actually hit the road that goes south from the Ankaran Way towards Zorgosa.
Completely surprised, but I'll be like, of course it was here! Woo!
In
Lucky
fact,
you had me!
you walked over kind of like a little bit of an overgrown part of it, and you kind of looked left and right, and you see kind of like more like distinct looking road north and south, and you're like, oh, there it is.
I definitely knew that we'd find it right here.
Good work. We will trust you forever.
You should.
I've got a mouthful of boards.
Which is not even cured yet.
It's just
How do you eat it?
It's just boar meat, really, right
the
now.
normal way.
Jerky. The normal way. It's raw jerky.
You gotta try the uncured kind.
So, boar meat. No. That argument continues for a while as you start to head south, and you notice pretty quickly that the road starts to drop off significantly. And check the map here. I think it's to your. So the road starts cutting through the forest itself, or it's kind of like on the edge. The forest is actually to your right, and to your left you see these break lines, or fall lines, I should say, in the land, where it's like, and you can actually kind of hear the rushing water off in the distance, and you know that is the Emerald Falls. Like you know it because you would have looked on a map probably to know. Get an idea where you were going.
I guess I'll be like, oh, that's the I'll point it out and be like, that's definitely the Emerald Falls.
And there's a couple times where as the path is going down, and again, it's pretty steep because it's kind of following the fall line. You look over and the metamorphic rock that kind of constitutes the river and kind of creates the borderline for it. You quickly realize why it's called the Emerald Falls, because you see these, they look like quartz, maybe, crystals that kind of catch the light. And they seem to be kind of laced into the metamorphic stone as the waterfalls start casting down. And sometimes it'll cast kind of a greenish light on what look like crystal clear waters as they kind of cascade down.
Cool.
You continue down the road for the rest of the day, and as you're getting down, as the land starts to kind of open up and kind of level off, the falls stop, and you just see kind of like a vast swamp to your left. You go maybe another mile or two, and just almost like sitting out in the middle of nowhere, there's like this squat keep, just like a square tower-looking keep. There's a like a maintained road leading up to it. There's a guardhouse. There's no guards, but you can see that it is manned off in the distance.
Who you reckon lives here?
You don't know anything about it.
You think we got to pay a toll?
There doesn't seem to be anyone on the road. The gate or the guard houses are very close to the keep itself.
I don't know. Strange of a keep next to a swamp. Well,
Yeah, well, it's not in the swamp.
no, I get it.
And then it
We
fell
get all
over.
kinds of skeeters. Well, why don't we just walk near it and see if anyone hollers at us? I mean, no reason looking like we're skulking around to try to surpass it.
Okay. Yep. I'm sorry. It's not on the swamp side. It's on the other side. It's on the forested side.
On the force of it. But is
Of
it
the road.
overlooking the swamp? Is the
No,
swamp?
no.
Oh, okay.
No. Sorry.
Got
Sorry. Because I was thinking, Yeah, I realized I had it kind of reversed in my head on the map. So it's actually kind of built in to kind of a hillside. It covers like 3/4 of it, but the tower rises back another 20 feet, and then the forest just expands beyond it.
Does it look like an old keep, or does it look? I mean,
It's hard to tell. It's
Yeah.
not run down.
Got
If
it.
that's what you're asking.
I am carrying several extra pounds of jerky. We could always try to sell it. Folks always looking for new kinds of meat.
ooh, I like that idea. Make a little bit of cheese.
Before we gets to the city, gonna have to buy maybe a room or at least a bath for you two. You stink. Not me, it's not. I'm used to it.
Wait, so in that philosophy, are you saying that because you're used to the stink, that you cease to be stinky?
For myself, yes.
Well, I'm not stinky for myself.
Yeah, but you're stinky for everyone else. That's my point.
Right.
I can't give a straight face for that logic.
But it makes sense to
Yeah, it
go.
makes sense to him. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, for a halfling, you smell like a wheel of cheese.
Right. We must smell good for Gunn.
Just take me back to the start. I'll be walking up to the keep
Yeah,
with
we'll
you.
walk.
All right, so there's basically a well-maintained trail that leads up to the keep, and like I said, there's a single guardhouse right outside the gate that maybe 1 or 2 people would sit in, and there's a tower on each corner of the top of the keep, and you can see a couple guards up there just kind of lazily leaning up against it, keeping out of the day's sun. It looks occupied, obviously, but not like they're on any kind of military alert or expecting anything.
I think I'm nearly screaming like, but what I'm saying is, to myself, in my own nostrils, I do not stink, but the two of yous do, so you guys need to get bathed. I'm used to it. That's it. That's all there is.
I think I'd try to yell over him, "Hello there!" to the guards.
Yeah, I'll be like, to be continued.
You see the little guard door open up, and you see a soldier come out, and he's wearing a chain shirt. He has a short sword. He has no other weapons on him. He just doesn't really seem threatened by. He just kind of looks bored, and he's sweating, and he's hot, and he kind of comes out. What can I do for you?
Well, we was curious what this place was exactly.
Well, it's a fort. Fort Dustorn.
All right, and
We keep watch
over the forest,
over the Witchwood.
the Witchwood, this wood.
I knew you could-
I'm just kidding about that, mate.
Are there witches in the Witchwood?
There are. Well, I've never been in there myself, but there are rumors that there are darker forces in the woods.
See
I
much
don't
action?
know. I think it's.
Swing that sword much?
I know how to swing it.
That's not what I meant. I'm just saying, is this fort besieged, or is it pretty laid back work?
Yeah, not really. It's. To be honest, we're undermanned as it is, and we don't even really need the soldiers we have here. It was built years ago because of a threat from the Witchwood, which I think it was taken care of, and it's just we're just really maintaining it at this
see.
point.
And what would the Witchwood attack were it to do whatever?
Well, creatures within the forest.
But who would they attack if you weren't here, other than you?
Well, they could attack the city. And he kind of points down the road, and as you kind of look, he's kind of pointing opposite side of the road, but the keep is a little bit higher. You can actually see kind of over the swamp because it's a bit raised. The elevation is higher, and you can kind of just see the tips of Port Zorgosa, and you can actually see the ocean off in the distance.
Right, Port
there it
Zorgosa.
is.
Yeah, of course.
Well, on to a bit of business.
Yeah.
We were gonna see if we could interest you in some boar jerky that we
Let's
have.
go right to the point. What I was going to say is must be hungry work out here. All being near this wood, that swamp, a little bit of warmth. Well, they got you feeding you fellas just
Thirsty
some rations. Thirsty work, huh? Yeah, can
This
understand that.
Thirst quenching jerky.
It is juicy. We just smoked it ourselves.
Yeah. If you got some ale or wine, I would definitely be interested in that. And thankful.
So would we.
So you don't have any.
Share it with you if we did, mate. But
I do appreciate that.
I'm sure you're just eating these rations. I mean, in the absence of delicious ales,
So-
a little bit of delicious
Are
meat.
you headed to Port Zorgosa?
That's right.
What's your business there? I'm just asking. I don't really care.
Be like, well, we're a bit of entrepreneurs.
That's right. Whatever that is, yeah. It's like an adventure.
Entrepreneurs.
We sell jerky.
Yeah.
That's all you do?
No, that's not all we do. We do just about anything that needs doing.
Why do you have an anchor on your back?
Oh, yeah. I'll just take it down and kind of set it
And his
down.
eyes just go wide as you kind of plant it down on the ground.
Found this.
Chinking.
Actually, it found me. It's kind of strange, really, but I swings it around and I smashes things with it. I do it pretty good, too.
If you could swing that thing around, I'm sure you do smash things.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I think latching it back to his back is kind of a process.
As he's distracted doing that. Is he okay?
Well,
Oh, yeah. He's
in some ways.
about as good as he could be.
I understand. Well, the commander is not here. Commander Jasper's not here, but if you're looking for work, I'm sure we could, use some guard relief. You look like capable.
Bit of sword work.
Bit of standing.
And to be honest, it's just getting paid to stand around. It's pretty mindless, to be honest.
I don't hate that idea, at least not for a little while.
We got someone we're gonna go see for a bit, but we'll keep it in mind. And I'll tell you what, if we're successful, seeing that you're on guard all the time, we'll bring some ale for the boys.
I wouldn't say no to that. Thank you. And
And-
what are your names?
Gun.
Tolbar.
Gun will turn to him with a big smile.
Bracing for the joke.
Seeing as they did, I'll be like, my name's Bairos.
Well met, friends.
What's your name?
Mine's Davin.
Davin. Well, that's a good Lord of Light's name, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
I think so. Could be.
I don't know much about them, to be honest.
I'm not missing much.
He's just mindlessly boring.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing. Like, he's bored. He just seems to be just kind of talking to you out of hand. You suspect he probably shouldn't be just talking to you out of hand like he is.
I think gonna be.
It's pretty apparent that this fort is undermanned. It's probably seen the
Useless.
last of its days. For the time being.
So,
No foreshadowing.
notice you haven't asked about my hat.
You're right.
Owlbear
Really?
and wild boar.
That's
2 separate creatures.
It's true, it wasn't 3 days ago.
So we got a lot of that meat. You ever eaten owlbear?
I've never even seen an owlbear.
Well, let me give you a little taste. It's a little bit gamier than pork.
I mean, and you take a look at like his weapons and armor. I mean, they're not well upkept by any stretch of the imagination. The handle on the sword does not look like it's barely been used. Doesn't have like the sweat stained
tarnish,
leather.
yeah.
And,
I'll hand him a big slice of owlbear jerky.
he kind of smells it, takes a bite out of it. He's like, "Holy shit, that's good."
Like you said, we're entrepreneurs.
Opportunist.
Jeff didn't know what you were trying to say at first.
Like, yeah, owlbear's bigger than a regular bear, let me tell you. And
If that's what is that though?
That's his beak.
That's
He's
the
just like this.
sharp
He's coming at. He's got
No,
the-
you're making that up.
I am not honest to God. Here's his claws. You see, I made it into a necklace. Now you can imagine. Look at this. He'll lift his shirt up. He got me right here.
He's like,
You
yeah,
see
he
them?
did.
All 5 right across my ribs. This side too.
He threw me at a pig.
He did.
And Tolbar had to fight that boar with
I fought it.
Fought it.
You have a colorful history.
A short history, but a good history so far.
Yep.
No more swindling of each other, joking on each
Yeah,
other.
we don't do that anymore. There was some joking on each other a little bit.
We came up with a new game too. It's called Ice Anchor Ball.
We'll have to show you.
Requires certain abilities. Not sure. You'll love it. You could always play anchor ball or sword ball.
I've got duties to do. And he just points back to the shack where he was
Well,
standing.
we'll bring back some ale and maybe you can rustle up a league together with all the other cards.
Yeah, if they're bored, we can show some. I mean, you can't swing the anchor, so... Stick ball?
And you need one sorcerer.
You need a sorcerer. And an alchemist.
Well, you don't need to play.
Anyways, tell your mates about the jerky, because we do have more. And we're willing to sell some. Could pass the time, something to chew on. Yeah.
If you find yourselves in need of some sword work, I'm not gonna lie to you, maybe not just garden. Send somebody down to the city and maybe you can find us.
I'll let the captain know. Thank you for the jerky.
Well, thanks for the conversation, Davin.
Okay.
Real fucking joy.
As we're out here, it's like, well, that's one shad, motherfucker.
Just, and not even the guards that were up on the tower. One of them just kind of looked over, just kind of shrugged his shoulder.
Yeah. Not shitty, not nice, completely neutral.
Bored, yeah, just bored out of their minds.
Like, oh.
The guys would just rather talk to a tree.
Not sure I want to do his job.
Absolutely not. But if they get a bit of action, though, we could go out and, do a bit of the spell cast, and I'll do some other stuff. You swing the anchor. We'd want to make them look bad. Plus, I wouldn't mind having a keep, if I'm being completely honest.
Figure that too. Looks like we could spruce the place up a bit.
I mean, it's pretty defensible, obviously. I mean, it's,
Wait for them to die of boredom.
We could put in on the road a Tolbar.
It's almost like it was meant to be. I mean, you sparked the idea, I ran with it, and now you've closed the triangle.
I took the anchor and I hit the ice ball out past, what do we call it, park? Field?
Yeah, we gotta think about that. Mm-hmm. We should get to writing them rules down. One of you can handle the writing, I'll handle the thinking.
First job I'd give you.
Same.
all right. Well, you continue.
Wouldn't it be a fun prank on Jeff if, for an entire session, we just sat here talking about rules?
And we read back your fucked up rules back to you.
That would be terrible too, like, and then on the left side of the field there's going to be the one squiggle line, and beyond that is the that's the anchor point. Yeah, and right. So to go back, just absolute
Holding up after we drew exactly what you wrote, it's just squiggles all over the place.
Oh, let me see what you have. You motherfucker.
We'd pretend we were writing and not having written anything down for hours.
All right. Well, you do continue discussing the intricacies of Ice Anchor Ball.
Yep.
And eventually the road winds down through the swamp. It's really actually kind of on the edge of the swamp. And you see the city before you. It's not a walled city, but it definitely looks like it started out small at one point, but has just kind of sprawled outward. There are not really any large buildings per se, like maybe 2-3 story at the very most, kind of scattered here and there.
Makes sense.
You do notice that kind of like on the far eastern side of it, there's like a kind of a natural hill kind of built in it, and there's like this beautiful estate that's built on top of it. Definitely kind of catches your eye. You can see that there are 2 massive docks that would hold deep water ships, and then there's some smaller docks kind of farther down that look like they would hold smaller. It looks like they're actually starting construction on some of the, like maybe some bigger docks farther down. And actually it looks like they've kind of clear cut some of the woods back behind the land into to kind of create the foundation for some building of some type.
I think Gunn would stop for a second and look at the sea. It is always a fair sight, isn't it?
Yep, you can the smell of fish and salty air and seagulls and just the din of the city kind of off in the distance.
I've been meaning to ask you, how do tribal fella like you end up on the ships?
Well, it's not a happy memory, I'll tell you that much. Especially when you look at the sea like that. Man sailing across that should be free. But old Gunn weren't. Nah. Got took from my family. Put to work on a ship. Press gangs, they called it. Still got the whip marks if you want to see it. I was pretty ornery. At least at first, but... yeah. Learned how to sail, though. Only thankful for that.
How'd
None
you
of
get
the
out
rest
of
of it. Maybe that's a story for another day.
Hey, Gunn. All joking aside, that's vile shite, and that should have never happened, and you didn't deserve it.
Aye. Thank you for that.
We're glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm his too.
This is our time for opportunity. No more gods, no more masters.
I like
Any
the sound
sort.
of that. Just fair sightsee in the sea now, knowing I'm a free man.
So your contact in the city, his name is Wolfgard, Alderman. So to give you a little background on your relationship with him, before you were inducted, recruited into the Primers Guild, you were out on the streets, petty thief, that type of thing. And you kind of knew the streets inside and out, and this individual, and at the time when you saw him, he was wearing kind of like a long leather coat, had like a rapier, looked like to be dressed fairly well, was trying to kind of stay out of the limelight, so to speak, but he looked like he was just trying to pass through the gates, like most people try to do, and head east into the other lands outside of the other kingdoms. But you noticed that just because you picked up on this, you'd noticed that as he was kind of standing in line to kind of get processed and his paper checks and whatever and make his way through the gate, you saw guards kind of moving in around him. And you know that they were going to grab him. You don't know why they were going to grab him, but you saw an opportunity. Because you were always, trying to find a way to make an extra coin here and there, and you're like, he looks like he's well off. Like, his clothes were really well appointed. Older, short, almost white hair, kind of like short cropped hair. Not like Duke Nukem hair, but like cut short. Looks a lot of scars, like on his hands and on his face. Looked like he'd been through a lot of battles. And as the guards were kind of bearing in on him, you created a distraction and basically allowed him to escape. And at that time, you were in good standing with Black Rat. And he basically told you that he was on the run. He said that in his home city of Camdelar, in the country of Camdelar, Kadashar is the capital city where he was from, he was an inquisitor there. He didn't give you a whole lot of details on it. You had heard about these inquisitors of Kadashar.
Have I learned more now after the
Sure.
Primers Guild?
Yeah. I would assume that you did. They basically were, at the time, and you're not sure what the status is currently, and this was, maybe a couple of years ago at least. No, actually, quite a few years ago. The Inquisitors were an order within the city that worshipped ironically, on this side, there's actually two countries that kind of worship a dead god. This particular god, they say, his physical body was interred somewhere deep below the city. And these inquisitors, this was a god of magic, and they believed that them and these other group of these wizards, they had kind of almost like a chokehold in the city, and they would, if anyone had, in kind of stark contrast to the way it is in the prelacy, where they keep an eye out on wizards, they were outlawed, and in fact, they would just disappear. And he was an inquisitor who would go out and hunt these wizards, and he would take them back to the temple. He told them, he goes, they were never seen again. He goes, I don't know what the upper levels, the higher orders within the organization did to them. He goes, but he was sure that they were killed, and he had kind of had enough of it. So he faked his death to escape, and he was just trying to get as far away from the city as he could. Unfortunately, he couldn't get through Mox-lein, and you managed to smuggle him out of the city, and he basically took up shop in Port Zorgosa, and he's become, and you're one of the few people who know this information, he runs a bookstore that is, it's called what is it called? The Damned Orphan. It's a bookstore, but it specializes in like magical tomes and such. You know that really what he was very good at finding out information back then. He's become almost like an information merchant now. In fact, his nickname that no one knows it's him is the Whisper Merchant. Or sorry, the Whisper King. The Whisper King. And you know that he's kind of the one person to go to in the town who can give you just about any information you need for price.
And he owes me a favor.
He does owe you a favor. So you know that maybe contacting him, he might be able to kind of either put you in touch with the right people, or maybe give you kind of a safe haven, or keep you under the radar, or what have you. It's up to you how you want to deal with that.
I guess as I'm thinking about that, I'll out loud be like, damn it! Should have faked my own death. Damn. It's a damn good idea that he had. And I should have done it, and I didn't do it. Faking your own death. That's the way to get out of something. We'll do that next time we get into a tight spot. We'll fake our own deaths.
All right.
Good.
He just blurts us out.
Was you thinking about faking your own death? How come you just...
Well, the guy we're meeting, I know, faked his own death.
Okay.
To escape a bad situation. I helped him out. Because I'm the charitable type.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But now I'm just thinking, I should have
So,
thought
is this one of your friends like Black Rat was?
I mean, yes and no. Because he's not Black Rat, who's a gobshite.
Aye.
This is a reputable rapscallion, if you will.
Like,
He does, from what you talked, the short time that you dealt with him, and you kept in touch with him.
Yeah, correspondence over the years.
He definitely has kind of like a weird sense of,
He's got a
honor.
code.
Yeah, he definitely has a code about him. And you figure that's probably left over to a degree from what he left behind.
He was a man of some import from where he's from, so he's got a code. Doesn't always fall in line with the laws of the land, but it's a personal code.
Alright.
I mean, it's probably something you would respect.
Still keep me anchor close by, but...
Just in case.
Oh, I think that's a good idea from here on out.
I have no reason yet to trust your judgment, but I'll do it anyway.
Hi. I already think you know me better than most people. It's a
Still,
connection
here I am.
we've got going on.
Alright then. Well, let's go meet this fella.
Let's go see not Black Rat.
Not Black Rat.
Although he knows Black Rat.
He does know Black Rat. You know what I've got?
But he doesn't know Black Rat's real name.
I'm gonna give it to him. Black Rat hates that his name's Jerome Paulbody, and I'll tell you what. Because he dicked us over in the sewers,
You did?
everybody's gonna know about Jerome feckin' Paulbody.
You tell Wolfguard, yeah, it's probably him.
Alright, I like it. Well, let's go say hello to the fella and figure out what we's gonna do to make some monies.
Get a little gold.
I'm 5 gold pieces lighter because of this feckin' magic that couldn't separate the stone from the
Keep telling
from
you
the
it's
chain.
not magic, mate. It's an applied, learned skill. Not magic. It's more science with a little bit of magic.
Plus, you'll be
How
5
much
gold.
magic does it take for something to be considered magic? I've seen weapons with a little bit of magic. I'd call that a magic weapon. Magic being the first word, the operative word, primary word about the weapon. The singular, most defining attribute of that weapon.
Aye, but you're thinking of this as a binary system, that something's either magical or not magical, when it exists on a spectrum of magic and science.
No, I don't think
and
it does.
think of
I
it
think-
like a
don't-
circle.
Don't think it does.
It's a
I think
big
I
circle.
think it's more like a glass of water, and if you piss in that water, it's piss water with a little bit or with a lot.
I'd lean down, pick up a rock, and throw it in the air.
Yeah, but think about that. Even on that, if you had a drop of piss in water,
Sure.
you wouldn't taste it. If you had a full thing of piss in a
Well,
jar,
that's what I'm saying.
if it's piss in a jar,
I could and would drink piss water with a little bit of piss, but there's a point where it stops being piss. But either way, it's going to be piss
then it's
water.
on the piss spectrum.
Is it half? Half where you
It's
would
not for
think?
magic. Well, okay, so maybe piss water, not a good analogy.
This is like the stink situation. Like, you think where the stink exists on the spectrum.
We have figured out the stink situation. But what I'm saying is a little bit of magic in a substance that can do something that are not normally its fucking material properties that changes what it's capable of doing, like sticking this chain to this piece of wood. Look at that little bead. That's just a little bead. Now, I've used glue before, eaten some too, I'll let you know. I'm not ashamed to admit. But what I'm saying is, nothing would stick these two extremely heavy pieces together
So now you
without
have
magical properties.
a magic anchor?
Ooh.
Well, you come up with a pretty good argument. I don't think so, though, because it's not altering
It's
the
just got a
properties.
little bit of...
But here's what I'm saying, mate. You're assuming that these things have natural properties that are immutable in the first place. And
What does that word mean?
it means that they shouldn't be able to be changed.
Can't change, got it.
But nothing works like that. Everything's in flux all the time. Do you know that everything moving around in my arm right now, quite randomly and to a degree, could all just move all at the same time? Because everything's moving around on the inside.
He's got a magic arm.
You've seen it light up.
You mean the magic's in your arm? Those magic tattoos.
I'm talking about the natural part of it. No magic at all. Yours could do it too.
I ain't never seen no hand suddenly be in a different spot without under some kind of control.
Well, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it can't happen. I'd never seen an owlbear before, but we saw one of them, and now you've got a hat.
Yeah, but in one case you're talking. In one case you're talking theoretical versus observed. Right? Has anyone observed a hand being right here and then fecking on the top of their head? Anybody? Or is it that it's possible that that's happened? Because it's also possible that all of a sudden I grow a great big pair and you always want to take a look at them.
Gunn, you don't have to grow new ones for us to want to take a look at them.
Fun thing is, I've seen that done.
Alright then. Sure, I got a feckin' magic anchor and you've got a feckin' magic arm. I don't know, what's that? Clearly...
Well, one person's got a definitely magic hand. Because I'll tell you what, if there's one thing that changes natural properties, it's that baby.
Alright, so we're all in agreement. That hand is absolutely magic, and I can put a little bit, just a squeegee of piss, in his water skin, and he would not care because it's not piss water, right? Is that what you're saying, Bairos? I mean, just a little squeegee, a little pincher of piss in your water skin.
I want to see how much it is before you put it in.
The thing you're not seeing here is the magic inside you. You assume you're not magical, and you have the same magic as everybody else. He's got the same magic as everybody else.
A bit more.
Well, you have the ability to do quite a bit more.
I reject the notion that these two things together is not magic, but But I'm willing to admit everything's a spectrum, and I guess we don't know anything, because if we can't know one thing for feckin' certain, then I guess we can't know anything. So I'll just whatever.
Gunn, congratulations, you've just completed Philosophy 101.
And the three of you have managed to stumble arguing through the streets, and you're not even sure where you are right now. You kind of look around. People have kind of gotten out of your way.
Yeah.
There are guards in the town. They kind of look at you because you're armed, but a lot of the people in this town are armed. Right. And you know the town is, on the outside, it is 100% like, fishing and mercantile and that type of thing. But you know that there is a pretty significant smuggling organization, although you don't know much about it.
Oh, yeah.
So as you kind of make your way through the city, you're just not, you realize that you just stumbled right in through the main gates, arguing the entire time.
About piss. Also, Copo Jazzy, there's magic in you. Yeah, my piss.
And you're lost. You're just blindly lost within the city. You weren't sure where you were going to go anyway.
But the place is called the Damned Orphan. Although I don't know if it means damned like cast down, like out of the divine, or damned like dammed up like a river. It could be either.
A dam full of orphans.
You ever damned a person? Like a river? Like, what would you stop? A tide of orphans? I think it's probably the former.
This conversation continues. And you find yourself on the docks.
We're screaming, arguing by the end, like, no, but what I'm saying is...
Yeah, like, imagine them all on each other's backs trying to get through, and you can only let one come out the slide at one time.
And you're standing on the edge of the docks with, like, the ocean breeze hitting your face, and you literally just walk through the entire length of the city.
Arguing about bullshit. This is basically D&D Seinfeld.
So you can ask around.
Well, ask around for sure.
So just give me a persuasion.
Not for where it is, but what kind of damage.
Yeah. But first.
I got an 11.
Okay. Well, I mean, the city is not tiny. I mean, it's... Again, it's a small city, so it's at least 5,000 people, depending. I mean, that could change depending on how many ships are in harbor. I mean, you could have a warship with 400 or 500 Marines and sailors on board that would just flood into the city. But you eventually do find your way to it, and it's kind of the city itself is. The good thing about it is because the way it's expanded, it's actually fairly easy to navigate through the city because it was very small to begin with. So whoever designed the city as it was kind of building outward had the idea of expansion in their mind. So they made it very logical. It's almost kind of like it almost goes out like a wheel.
Somebody thought ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. There was a city planner here, and they basically planned it kind of like rings and then spokes. So it's very easy to find your way around the city. Cool. But you do find the Damned Orphan, and it doesn't have like a sign that indicates like a crying orphan. It just says the Damned Orphan, kind of etched into
Which damned?
With an N?
Yes, with an N.
Boring.
Like, I didn't rule it out. I was just saying it was an honest
Now,
question.
if it had been the damned dolphin, right, like a dolphin that got trapped behind a dam, it would have made sense, but we can concede this one. It was a good, spirited argument.
One for Gunn.
How would the dolphin get behind the dam?
It was built when he was swimming upriver.
But they don't swim upriver.
It's a river dolphin.
It's a freshwater dolphin.
Yeah.
Like, I like these spirited debates with you.
Yeah, pretty fun.
On a side note, definitely put a glove on that hand. Don't let him see the hand. At all.
All right. I assume I have it.
I would assume you would have told him that before you got to the city.
Yeah.
Do you think my hat be...
The hat's good. I like the hat.
yeah,
It makes
I
you
like
look even
like
tougher.
it too.
Draw attention away from my hand.
Alright, that's his job then.
All right, so you see the door, open it up, and there's a little ding, a little bell that dings as you come in. You get caught in the doorway.
Yeah.
The horn kind of it goes up this way. It takes you, and you just stumble in, knocking a couple stacked books over as you come in. Your anchor,
the sides of the anchor
knocking shit over left and right.
Sideways.
It's like you gotta walk sideways and duck. That's how you get into doorways because you're
Kind of crab walk.
It's like moving a couch into a house.
Yeah.
But it's very dark in here. It's musty. There are bookshelves all over the place. There's no one in here. There's absolutely no one in here. You do hear like a in a kind of like back around the corner. And as you kind of peek around the corner, you can see it goes down to the end, and there's just looks like it actually back in the corner. There's like this desk that kind of fits in the corner. It's perfectly neat back there. Like everything is very ordered, but everything out here just seems to be like haphazardly tossed around. Like you're not sure anyone even comes in here to buy books.
Right.
Yeah. They aren't exactly organized into fiction and non-fiction.
I think Gunn will grab a book and be like flipping through it, but it's probably upside down.
No pictures.
Dust.
Yeah.
Cloud comes up from it. And you do see Wolfguard back there. He's just sitting. He's got kind of like a fine-looking leather vest on and kind of like a red silk shirt. He always dressed impeccably, like he was always dressed to the nines if he could be. It looks like he's doing fairly well, and he's kind of sitting down, and he's got kind of a pair of tiny little spectacle glasses on. He kind of looks up, kind of does a double take, and kind of looks at your arms.
It isn't the best dressed man I've ever seen in Mox-lein.
Welcome, my friend. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
Who are your friends?
Ah, well, this is Gunn.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
He actually does smile a little bit at that.
Like, it's an owlbear and boar.
Killed in the same night.
Still a little smelly.
Yeah. Like a flesh flap hanging down.
There's still a little bit of gore on the inside of it.
Because
Doesn't smell to you, though.
you're impatient, and you're like, no, just put them together now.
It's fine. That was just head heat, and meat.
Yep, it smells good.
Like, and this is a far traveler from lands far away, Tolbar. They're my crew.
Where are you from? You are from Nendor. Is actually the name of the city you're from, which is on the continent of Maralta. It's an independent little halfling city up in the north.
I'm from Nindor.
I think that is across the sea, is it not? Across the reach. Yes, it is.
It's in Maralta, across the sea.
Ah, very far traveler. I would love to hear any news you have along the way.
Not much to speak of, really.
Maybe there's more than you think.
Maybe there is.
I will pick your brain later. You know, he's just.
He doesn't care. He just wants to know every possible thing that he can know.
Yep, 100%. So, what are you doing here, my friend? I haven't seen you face to face in many years. Those tattoos. Primer's Guild?
Formerly Primer's Guild.
Ah, I see.
Inspired by our run-in many years ago, I did about the same as you did. I wasn't smart enough to fake my own death, though, so...
Luckily, they have not caught up with me.
That was much smarter. We were in a bit of a rush, so we escaped the city. Partly at first with what we thought was the help of Black Rat. But
He's a dirty traitor.
he betrayed us, which I give him that. They probably paid him pretty well.
Well, it's...
This is free. This is free for you.
His eyes, his little squinty eyes open up.
A gift coming back, and because I'm pissed. Black Rat's real name is Jerome feckin' Paulbody.
That is awesome. I better write that. I won't forget it. I'm going to write it down anyway.
If you want to write to, anybody else back in Mox-lein that you know, that's fine.
Seem real particular about that name. It's a foolish name, huh? Huh, guys?
It's the stupidest name.
Foolish one.
I've never heard a dumber one.
Me either.
But we're here looking for for opportunity, and I know that you're the man to talk to.
Well, I assume you want to keep under the radar.
A what?
What's that?
Sorry.
It's a term we use where I'm from.
Sorry.
Where we find magics by...
Now,
Without
do all
being
things
noticed
show
by
up on that
the
device?
authorities.
We'll talk about that later.
There are no obvious agents of the Primers Guild in the city, but there are others that who might, if they found out who you were, would be happy to sell it to the Primers Guild.
I'm sure that in time, the Primers Guild will send out a few feelers our way.
7-month subscription from Gidwish. Thank you,
Wow,
sir.
thank you
Thanks,
very much.
Appreciate that, man.
I don't have anything right now, but I tell you what, I could give you a recommendation of a place to stay in the meantime.
I like it.
I might have some work for you. You see, there are others who wish to encroach upon my business in the town.
Just the kind of work that would require smashing, because I think if we... I guess he realised.
Possibly.
Could be smashing. Maybe. Probably.
You see, there is a new organization trying to make inroads into the city. They call themselves the Third Eye, and you 100% have heard of them. They actually, their base of operations is this city that's up actually north of the Prelacy called Blackcliff. And it's a city that's kind of built on these like massive stone columns that once was a sea. Now it's just like this kind of wasteland that's up there. And it's just kind of out, it's very out of the way. And they've actually tried to make, you've heard them trying to make inroads into the Prelacy. It's much harder to make it into the Prelacy than it is in the other areas. But they are more, they're not like assassins necessarily.
Yeah.
They're more like a crime syndicate, right? They want to have their hands in just about everything. But you know two things. One, no one else knows that he's the Whisper King. Or if there are, they're a very select few. And the only reason you really know is because you kind of helped him at the very beginning of that. And you kind of probably set him up with some contacts that you knew in the city, and you were kind of like, you helped him kind of get a foothold here. But no one knows that's who he is. He's only known here for selling and like buying and selling like magical tomes, which is why the outside of the bookstore, he does have other books here that people come in and maybe trade. Yeah, he probably doesn't make any money at that, but it's like wizards. If someone finds like a sunken treasure with a spell book and they want to sell it or whatever, he's the one to kind of, make that happen. He doesn't sell magic items.
Yeah.
But he says, well, there are a couple of places that you could stay that would be safe. There is the Tired Dog.
Tired Dog?
It is it's an inn, but it also is a tavern and a brewery.
Say no more.
Like the
Sounding
sound of that
good.
one, yeah. I don't
Liking
think
it.
I need to hear the rest.
Yeah, I think we're good.
There is the Silken Rook.
Does it have a brewery?
No, but it does have a brothel attached to it. I would be careful. The individual who runs it, Corto Vardo, he also tries to do what I do a little bit. Not so well, of course.
Well, we don't need to be lining the pockets of your competitors, sir. So,
He is not a competitor. He thinks he is, but he is not. I have more.
Good thinking.
And the
Sounds
Red
like thirsty.
Dwarf is the other one. It is run by a half-orc like yourself. His name's Merlax.
Sounds alright. Handsome, imagine.
It's a pretty neat name.
Either way,
Do they have a brewery or a brothel?
no, the Red Dwarf is actually just a tavern, but they do have common rooms that you can stay in the back. Probably the accommodations are not so great, but it is much more off the radar. The Dire Dog is a fully established tavern.
Well, I don't believe in shitting where I eat, so I think I'm still in favor of the Tired Dog. We'll just do our business elsewhere. All of our business.
We'll stay at the Tired Dog, but we'll drink other places.
Right. Except for a little bit, but not to get rowdy.
Crossing my fingers, but I'm definitely not going to get rowdy.
Not rowdy.
Alright. Well, we'll head to the Tired Dog and await news if you find something.
Yes, I will send you information. I will, of course, will not go myself.
Didn't think so. Well, it's good to see you, Wolfguard.
It is good to see you still alive. We will talk about that later.
It's a tale.
I'm sure it is.
Some nice books in here. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. And he gives you instructions on where the Tired Dog is.
As we head out, I'll be like, question for you. Do you think that your hat stinks?
Oh, absolutely. It's not a part of my being.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll need to clean it a bit.
But make sure you don't clean yourself. Because...
What? I don't need to.
Right.
This is my point.
Right.
So normally, the inn is about maybe 15-minute walk. An hour later, you stumble back out, and you see an inn, and it has a sign kind of nailed up across the top of it. There's actually like an awning hanging over, and there's like a kind of a porch. There's no chairs on the porch, just like if you want to get out under the rain, because the way the weather works here, this place does get hit by a lot of rain, and you can smell the kind of like must and kind of like almost mold that kind of everywhere that you would expect in a port city. But you just see this, just like again, this is actually almost like a wooden bas relief of just looks like a sad dog, just like a hound.
Yeah.
Perpetually has a sad face looking.
Why would you put that on the outside of your building? My heart's hurting now.
Yeah, I suppose that's part of the tactic. But also, seeing a dog sleeping, it just puts you at ease, you know? You see a dog snoozling, maybe barking a little.
He looks sad, but he's just kind of, his eyes are kind of like half open.
I mean, a tired dog's a dog that probably had a good day, is all.
Oh, that's a nice way of thinking of it. See, I like that. It's a dog that had a good day.
Yeah,
What a
chasing
place to
balls and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably pretty good at ice anchor ball.
I was just thinking the same thing.
If we put a dog as part of it.
He goes to get the ball.
Then we don't have to tire ourselves out
Right.
every time we gotta grab the ball.
Oh, that would be somebody else, like on my team, that if the dog can get the ball and bring it back past the squiggle,
Past the
I
squiggle.
get
Past
the point.
The four squiggle.
The four squiggle, but that way you have an incentive to hit it farther.
Yes, I likes this.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I likes this.
All right.
All right,
Good.
another
right.
one.
Take a note.
You are a little more self-conscious of your beak hat
Yep.
now, so you do duck under and steps.
He'll take it off like.
The doors are actually wide open,
Yeah.
just to kind of let the sea breeze in, because it does get hot, obviously. So you don't have to step sideways. But as you step in, you can see that it actually is, like, you come in on kind of like an upper level that it's almost like a sunken inn, where it's kind of square in the center, and down on the lower level, it's just a series of, like, long tables and benches and where people just drink, probably. The level that you come on, there's actually kind of a small railing that goes around the entire outside. And there are tables that you can sit around up there, and people are, like, eating and things like that. And there are two bars. There's one on the left that looks to have like a series of kegs, like for ale, and then there's another one that's just wine on the other side. Cool. As you were coming up, you did see a massive kind of like cylindrical, almost like silo-looking building that was attached to the outside. You assume that's the brewery. Cool. And this building is 2 levels high. As you come in, you see some things. You see 2 things. You see what you would expect, normal merchants and townsfolk and such. But you also see kind of sitting on the kind of near where the wine bar is, you see these 2 insectoid-looking creatures sitting at a table. You've never seen them before. You've never seen them before. You actually have seen them before. Oh. North of the Prelacy is a place, it's a kingdom called Zadrada, I think is what it's called. Look at my map. Zenkeda. So what you know about Zenkeda is that it is it's a Thrycreen nation, but there's 2 actual species within the nation. The Thrycreen are kind of like the nobles or the royals, and then they have the Franks, which are like their soldiers. So they're not as tall; they're a little bit smaller. Where the Thrycreen have they're a humanoid praying mantis with multiple appendages, and they tend to attack with talons and or claws and teeth and such. The Franks are very humanoid looking. They're about 6 foot tall. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, but they have the carapace. But they'll wear armor and have weapons, and they're very mercenary like. They're also kind of like, there's no real, from what you know of, there's no real, you're not really sure actually what the interaction is between the Franks and the...
Green.
Yeah. Right. All you know is that they have been, the Prelacies actually hired them as mercenaries from time to time because they are so agile and just, because they move kind of like the Thrycreen where they can jump incredible distances to fight. And because sometimes they've had trouble dealing with another mercenary group of these kind of alien-looking creatures on the other side of the mountains from them. You've never dealt with them before.
Are what we're seeing Thrycreen or Franks currently?
Franks. You've never seen a Thrycreen.
Oh, okay.
They never leave their empire or their lands. The Franks absolutely leave. Sometimes they go out and kind of you can play them as characters. Sometimes they go out and adventure on their own. Sometimes you'll just see them in mercenary groups. They just seem to be kind of sitting there by themselves, and no one seems to be overly concerned about them, but they're definitely kind of clicking in their own language, talking to each other.
Hey, those are friends. They're insect persons.
Yeah, you've never even...
You mean like a bug?
Exactly. They're quick too. They can slice your guts open.
They ain't slicing my guts open, I'll tell you that much. I'd squash them. Just like some squashes and ant.
Seems logical.
Mm-hmm. They are the more juice they make when you squash them.
Seems like a valid argument.
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with your logic.
Are we going to get a beer, or are we going to get into an argument about the spectrum of insect sizes or some other feckin' nonsense?
You can get the beer first.
We'll get the beer. We'll have 1 beer here, we'll get a room, and then I say we go to the Red Dwarf, because it's out of the way.
Yeah, just 1 beer.
1 beer here.
Just one
beer
here.
at this location.
Right.
What I'm saying is a lot of beers at other places.
But we won't get rowdy.
I'm gonna level with you, guys. I've lived in a place with a lot of rules for a lot of time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the only specifications we put around this group's general rowdiness level was that we wouldn't get rowdy here.
Yeah.
I'm planning to turn one loose.
I think there's only one thing we have left to do now that we made it here.
Get rowdy.
Rowdy and party.
Alright, let's get rowdy. Let's get rowdies!
Alright, well, you see that the staff is a mix of, humans, but men and women attending, different places. It's not like it's a highbrow establishment by any stretch of the imagination. But it does not look, but you do notice that it's like most of the tables and wood and stuff are made of either teak or redwood. So it's very nice. Probably had to be imported in.
Yeah.
The only time you've ever seen this kind of like style and decor has been when you came through Tangiso, and specifically in Mandalathe, which is the capital, which is where you travel through. In fact, you see the one of the bartenders who seems to be kind of moving back between the two individual bars looks to be from Tangiso. He has the bearing and look of someone from there. So he has like short, kind of thin black hair, cut very short, kind of darkish olive skin. Looks pretty fit and looks very serious, from what you could tell. As he just you see him kind of tending bar, so to speak, on both sides.
I'd go up to him. Order ready to.
Okay. Well, he's kind of standing behind the ale.
Excuse me. I'll have
Yes. How can I help you?
3 of whatever you suggest.
Yes. Where is it?
And are you from Tangiso?
I am, actually. You have been there before.
I have. I passed through there. I came from Nindor.
I am Shochi Tanaka.
Mm-hmm.
We have a house brew called the Hound's Drew.
Well,
don't let them
it's as tasty as it sounds.
It is very tasty.
Hopefully tastier
I'll
than
take
it
one.
sounds.
I'd like one.
Very well, very well.
One for me as well.
All right. Well, he taps a few and kind of hands them out to you. So, what are you doing in Port Zorgosa?
We're
Here to stay? Would you like
we're opportunists. We're opportuneurs.
Oh yeah, got a few lines on a few jobs.
I sells jerky some. That's not my main job, but it's a gig that pays pretty well. Yeah.
Either any of you from the west of here? From Kandala?
Across the water.
It is north and west of here.
Oh, wait, did we head east
Did you have that map?
or west? Yeah, it's over there. Is it easy for you to reach?
Maybe. Is it in the...
Yeah, it's right. Nope, it's right there, just to your right on the shelf. Warmer.
Radar going up.
There's something moving. It ain't us.
All right, so you guys are here.
Yeah.
This is Candelar.
Gotcha.
This is the Prelacy. That's...
Gotcha.
And this all the way over here is Tangiso.
Okay.
Like literally on the other side of the continent.
I've never.
We didn't come from there, no.
Nope.
No, sir.
I see. He seems like...
You waiting for someone from there?
Well, I'm searching. I am searching for someone, actually.
You expecting them soon?
No, I do not. Unfortunately, I've been here longer than I ever expected to.
Well, seems like you're doing all right for yourself. Beer's pretty good too.
My sister, well, she went missing many years ago, and I traveled from Tangiso to come here and to find her, but I have not been able to find her. If you ever see someone who has my look and bearing, she has much longer hair. She did then.
Alright, we'll keep our eyes out for her.
Got any other distinguishing marks? Birthmarks, tattoos, or
Well, she was a expert swordswoman.
probably have a few cuts then. A few scars.
Well, she's
In
really good, she
a
wouldn't have
weapon
any.
like this, and he goes back into a back room and pulls out basically a katana. He doesn't take it out, but it's just kind of an ornate looking katana. It's got like an ivory handle.
That's a different looking blade. I think we'd
Her
recognize
name is
that.
Anara.
Oh no.
I figured the Mind Palace would remember that.
Nice.
And what brought her this far?
She went missing many years ago. I have not seen or heard from her. But I think it might be a lost cause, but anytime there is someone new in town, I ask them.
Well, can't say as we've seen her. My beer's getting about empty, but we will definitely keep a lookout. Did we secure rooms yet?
Not yet. Could we get a room from you by chance?
Plus,
A private one. I mean, we can share it, but a private room for us.
so yeah, you can absolutely get a room. They have more than enough room.
Got a big bed, a big fella. Also, I might need some, like a bowl and maybe some instrument. I gotta finish cleaning out my hat, as you can see.
That is horrendous.
Yeah. Also, babs for these fellows. Do them here.
No, we do not.
Okay. We'll find them. Not tonight, though. Gonna get rowdy tonight.
Not here, though.
No.
Not here.
No. We would not besmirch your establishment.
Someone else's, though.
I would not be smirching here, I'll tell you that. I'd be smirching somewhere else.
So, I told you guys you'd have some downtime.
Yep.
So, you can continue to talk to him if you want, but you're going to have a week of downtime before he gets back to you with any information.
At least for tonight. I would like the montage of us getting fucking rowdy. And, I mean, drinking, doing body shots out of Gunn's disgusting belly button and being like,
And then out of his hat.
Yeah, definitely. Fill it up, guys.
drinking, pouring it through the beak.
Yeah.
I want to fight people and then later be laughing with them.
Yeah. It would just be the montage of the slanty camera of us stumbling from places.
And just before we walk
Doing a
in the
bar
first,
crawl.
before we walk in the first place, you'll say, "Remember, don't show anybody your hand." And then cut to me dancing on the table with my hand shooting fire at it.
You're smashing pieces with it. Also, is that a dog fart? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it was
that's
not
a
me.
crazy dog
I know
fart.
it was a dog fart. I
man.
felt it go this
I
way.
Felt that wave.
I was trying to chill and I was
Tired
like,
dog
good
farted.
Lord.
At
Tired
first I was
dog.
like, that was one of my boys, and then I realized that's beyond human.
I could tell it was a dog fart.
I looked suspiciously at all y'all. I was like,
Glad
one
I'm
of y'all
stopped up
did
then.
that.
Yeah. So we will leave every other place in town smirched.
Okay. There are 14 taverns
For
in
the
town.
first night, 14.
We will make a
smirched them
name
all.
for ourselves. We will get absolutely rowdy and ridiculous.
All right.
Fires, a couple fires.
You can continue to get rowdy and ridiculous by doing carousing. For
Yeah,
your
we'll do
downtime,
carousing.
Or there's other activities.
I'd like to do a little bit of card play. I mean, a little gambling's probably fine. Maybe some carousing.
Yeah, I'd probably wind up doing some kind of fighting. Some kind of backroom pit fighting type deal.
Oh yeah, you want to do some punches? Yeah, we can do some punches.
He'll fight somebody.
Bring one of them bug people! I'll smash them!
They will 100% fight you.
I was telling my mates about how I was going to smash them bug peoples up all into little bits and squish them up. Be like a spiders, I would be. Eat them up and suck out the guts. That's what they do to them.
Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see.
To any bug people watching, we are sorry.
Oh, I mean, you can go find... The Franks are very easy to find. I don't smell anymore. It must... The wave must have passed me.
The
Oh,
Frank wave.
The wave of mutilation.
Let's see. Where are we?
I'll wrestle a bug person.
Okay.
I'd like to wrestle one.
So you want to... Well, I'll just look at...
I'm definitely trying to watch that and be like, now watch out for the feint! The Frank feint! They're gonna try to fake you out, Gunn! They're fast!
Okay, so you're basically I'm using kind of the pit fighting, but I'm modifying it
Sure.
to a degree. So you're gonna make 3 checks:
Okay.
strength first, then athletics, and there'll be a special con check. We'll just do that in a
Okay.
second.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get this off to a good start here.
Where'd my dice go?
Did you look?
Oh, here you go.
Up your button around
Oh,
the corner?
What up?
Oh, there it was on my butt. Okay, so
That dog
were you
fart's
picking a fight with a
so real.
I know, dude.
You picking a fight with a Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to brawl a Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Or, I mean, legally.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not-
you're not
I'm not gonna go
yeah.
be a jerk. I'm
Yeah,
You're not
gonna
gonna
go
fight
be
them
like,
to death.
you know.
They 100% without. I mean, when you offer to fight with them,
Yeah.
they They actually set up like a series of fights
I
over
think
several nights.
I think his confidence would drop a little. Like, yeah, let's do this. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, we should go through with it.
And then when they talk to you, they speak common perfectly,
All right,
but
cool.
they do like talk
Nice.
to each other.
Nice.
So the first is athletics.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Athletic.
I don't know if they're gonna kill him or not.
We'll step in if we have to.
23.
22. So the first fight, again, you are given, non-lethal weapons.
Yeah.
You basically just make something that's big and heavy,
Yep.
maul-like, maybe part of a table or something like that.
Big old club.
These motherfuckers are fast.
Wait, slow
He literally is. When I say he's bouncing off the walls, he's physically bouncing off the walls when he's fighting you. Like he acrobatics over the top of your head, hits the wall, kicks back off, and then like kicked you in the back of the head and landed and had his sword out. And as he was coming down, you just took the blow and just swung the table where he was going to be,
Nice.
and just clobbered him and knocked him down.
Just like ice anchor ball.
Yeah, I got him past the squiggle.
Next is a dexterity acrobatics check.
Okay, I'm definitely using one more of these boys. Okay, 17.
19. And then the last one is con check. So you can actually replace it with an attack roll for a con check using an attack roll.
Yeah,
and basically, the DC is. Let's see. It's going to be a 15 DC for each one of you. And this is kind of like how long you can maintain the fight.
Alright, got it. Son of a bitch. I should have made you roll a
That's what I was
disadvantage.
thinking.
Okay, hold on. Come on, right now.
Oh, I thought that was a 20.
No.
Oh,
no.
no. These-
I did beat the DC. I'll say that.
Yeah, you did beat the DC,
I got-
you did lose one of the checks, so I'm going to
But
give
I
you...
won one of the
I know,
checks.
no, yeah. So, basically, like I said...
But I won one also.
I'm arguing that.
there is a success
Cool.
based on how many successes you get.
Cool.
So you basically got 2 successes. In the end, you realize that if this had been a real fight, he probably would have killed you.
Yeah.
He just outlasted you. Like, they did not seem like they even tired at all during the fight.
Right.
But they also were having a difficult time staying out of the crazy wild swings you were doing with this massive piece of a table.
Right. When I connected, it probably knocked them off their game.
Yep. So you win 50 gold.
Whew. Nice. By the way, I did take 5 gold out of my inventory. Jackass.
Hey, should have been stronger.
Can we learn their names and befriend them afterwards?
Yeah, definitely. I would take them out for drinks after. In fact,
Okay.
I'm going to spend 10 of that 50 gold.
So if someone wants to do carousing, and you succeed on carousing, you can add them as a contact.
Tight. Yeah, we'll be getting real drunk with them.
So
It's like-
you want to do carousing?
What are the other options before I decide?
So let me tell you. So there is crime, gambling, fighting, like he
do
did.
crime.
There's just relaxation, religious service, research, training. Like you can actually start training to learn a new tool
Skill
proficiency.
or tool.
Like if you wanted to learn how to learn how to become a sailor, it takes weeks to do that. So you would
Just do crime.
just do crime.
No, I think I'll carouse.
Carouse. Okay. All right.
And I will be showing off my magic at every opportunity.
How many places do we leave smirched?
Smirch. Okay. Well, let's see.
13 out of 14
Roll for
places.
smirching.
Yeah. So roll a D12 plus 2.
All right. If I roll a 12, we accidentally smirch.
9 places. 9 places you either leave in ruins, get kicked out, get thrown out. A couple times a guard are called, and you're dragged off for an overnight in a cell.
Like, there's enough to where there's you can see smoke coming out of the city because of my combined smirching.
All right.
Somewhat smirching.
Let's see. This will cost you money to do this.
Oh, that's okay.
It's 2d10 gold.
Did I roll?
Yeah.
12.
12 gold.
We gotta carouse.
Alright, so,
I didn't know the smirch was actually a word. I thought it was just besmirch, but no, it is.
There's smirch.
And
Now
it
you're
is
looking it up.
soil. Soil something.
So you
I did
smirched
not know that, but we definitely smirched. Probably a couple pairs of pants, too.
Speaking of soiling, at some point I'm gonna grab your water skin and I'm gonna pee in it.
I think we all would have had that thought.
Okay, everyone give me a perception check to detect pee.
We're all staring at a table around.
All right, I got a 17.
I got a 21.
You both noticed a hint of ammonia in your
I
ale.
got a 10.
Nope, you don't. You drink it. Both of you peed in
Yeah.
it. Like 2 times you peed it. He didn't pick it up
It's
once.
my magic water.
And each of us was like conspiring at different times, and the other one was like, "Yeah, I want to piss in." Well, of course you wouldn't piss in each other's. No, we never do that. Just his though.
He would lose it. I'd just be like, you just drank my pee!
How much was it?
Enough to make it pee water.
That's what I was afraid of.
Boy. We have smirched our reputation.
What's your charisma?
16 plus 3.
Okay, roll a d4 for me.
3.
Okay, so I'll figure out what the other 2 are, but one of the contacts you get during this time are you just write the. I don't have their names written down, but 2 Fraints. Phraints. And then
I'm afraid not.
roll a d6 for me.
Imagine when they get wounded, they don't get bruised. They get like a crack with some bug guts that kind of spilled out. They gotta like wrap it up.
D6.
Whoops. 3.
3. Okay, roll it again.
1.
Another contact that you'll have will be smugglers. I'll figure that out
Nice.
offline. And one more.
D6.
What? Yeah.
One more D6.
Yeah, you have 3 contacts because
6.
of roll. And roll again.
1.
Someone in the town guard.
Nice. That's after he drug us away from someplace we got to chit-chatting.
He's probably the one that
liked us.
taught you how to get out of jail.
Yeah.
And like made friends with a town guard, and maybe it was that guard from the tower.
Yeah, on rotation.
Yeah, he was just down in the town and then
This
recognized
fucking
you.
guy again.
Because we were too.
But he was a whole other dude when he was back in town.
Yeah.
He's just that's the shit duty.
We were just too gone. I'm like, I'm on a solicitor. I'm on a solicitor.
I think he'll just be crashing.
Just spitting.
Throwing up. Yeah. I'm not feeling so good.
Drink too much piss.
Oh, not me, mate.
So you can do mercenary work to earn gold.
I'd like to gamble.
Gambling.
I am. I have cards as one of my tool
Sure.
proficiencies.
Okay, so you'll be able to do this with
Oh my God,
So-
Maisie hit it again.
Did she? I don't smell
Is
it.
she still alive?
She's still wheezing over there.
She's
So you have to tell me how much you betting. Keep smelling it.
She'll just losing this mic because we really crossed the threshold tonight. Our characters have never peed in each other's water skins.
I'm gonna bet 20 gold.
20 gold.
I'm going. I think getting rowdy. I'm trying to go.
Okay.
20 gold.
All right. So you're gonna make 3 checks,
Okay.
and any one of these I'll allow you to swap out for your gambling proficiency,
Gotcha.
which will be effectively it'll be I think gambling would probably be what, wisdom, like insight,
So I think they normally. I don't know if you're looking at those because I wasn't.
Oh, they have them written here specifically.
Yeah, it's charisma and insight and
I know.
deception.
I'm just saying I would
gotcha.
have given him.
I
If he's
see,
not
I see,
proficient
I see,
in
I see.
insight, I would recognize his proficiency
I
to his
see,
wisdom.
gotcha.
Is what I'm saying.
I
Are
gotcha.
you proficient with insight?
Yeah,
Okay, then it actually does. Yeah, and you proficient in deception.
I am.
What about intimidation?
No.
Okay, so you can just swap out. You can do a second, effectively, wisdom insight.
Gotcha.
If you're gambling.
Okay,
To give
cool.
you an extra.
So
edge.
2 insights and a deception then at that point.
Correct.
Got it.
So go ahead and see what DC is. I'm just gonna actually. I think I just take what the DC is. DC is 17.
17 for which one is this?
This is your wisdom insight.
Oh, okay. I'm rolling with advantage. Wisdom. Oh yeah, 24.
Okay. Give me another one.
Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna use it up.
Do it.
Might as well. Oh shit! Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And then roll one more time. This is
For
your
deception?
Yeah. Okay.
19.
What'd you bet?
20 gold.
So you made 60 gold
Sick.
because of the crit.
Nice.
Normally you can get double.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So you didn't lose any gold. You're net 60.
Net 60.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You rich.
Yep. And there were no complications. That's it. You can bet actually up to 1,000 gold
Holy shit.
for gambling.
Go high
That's what the
stakes.
high characters do.
I know, exactly.
High level
If
characters.
you want to make some money.
Yeah,
But
well-
I mean, 60 gold at this level.
Oh, hell yeah. One of those last nights, that last game, I'll be like, oh, you nearly cleared me out, boys. Oh, no! Does that win? Is this I don't know. Is that a winning?
All right. So,
Getting rowdy is awesome.
Getting rowdy was fun.
so kind of on about the 7th day,
Yep.
right? You are
The Smirchers rested on the
right.
7th
Yeah,
day.
yeah. You're at
Finally, we're just like sprawled in our room, like, I think I'm done.
You're actually downstairs, like having like a late breakfast, early lunch, at the Tired Dog specifically, and you don't see your Frank boys. They're not there. They're still in town though. But just roll perceptions as you come down.
Hey,
Oh no.
I got
Nursing a headache.
18.
13.
Okay. You two actually don't notice it. You notice kind of sitting up on the tables, because again, they're almost kind of like shadowed up there, especially early day where they don't have a lot of the lanterns lit. Hope that's not her farting.
No, she's chasing something in her sleep.
Is her leg going?
Nope. Work.
She's just trying to
She
start.
makes the sound of the Mario tube when you go down into the sewer.
You see kind of sitting up, and the reason you notice her is 2 reasons. One, she's just gorgeous. Like a white-haired female elf. She has kind of like these bands on her ears, kind of hanging down with like earrings that are got some kind of green gemstone in them. She's kind of like a matching necklace. She has like white and like green like embroidered shirt on. With that roll, you can see she's got a bit of like you can see some like very light elven chain you would expect underneath, and she's just watching the 3 of you as you come down the stairs. She's also sitting with a man who he's probably maybe 6 foot tall. It's hard to tell from he's sitting down. I bumped it too far.
No, you're good.
Okay, sorry. He's got kind of ruddy brownish black hair that's kind of slicked back. He doesn't have any weapon. Doesn't have any armor on him. He has like a scimitar on him. He's definitely got kind of a ruddy skin. As you were kind of making your way, being a far traveler, you can pick up a lot of the different nationalities. He is from. He's from Kemporo. which is just north of Tangiso on the map. You would have seen more like, not necessarily that look specifically like him, but that have kind of like his complexion and kind of clothing, that type of thing. In Mandaluthay, because Mandaluthay is the capital of Tangiso, but there's a lot of trade that goes between the two countries, so you would have seen them there. You know, think of, Tangiso is obviously has kind of like an Orient feel to it, and Temporo is more of like Middle Eastern feel to it. He's just sitting there, just like, kind of has just like an emotionless expression on his face. He just kind of glances at the three of you and just kind of looks straight forward and just kind of like almost mindlessly is drinking, a glass of wine. She's just kind of looking at the three of you, and you see her, and she's just like drop dead gorgeous, and you think that she's looking at you.
I think I'd say, heard about us and had to see for yourself.
Well, she's kind of like across the bar. You'd have to yell.
All right, fine. Then I'd start heading that way, and when it feels like I don't have to yell, I would say that.
In the meantime, I'll be like, no, but smell my armpit. Do I stink?
Yeah,
I'd be like trying to be tall enough to block them.
Let me smell yours. All right. Oh my god.
All right. Well, they're having their normal morning back and forth, and you kind of as you kind of walk up, like kind of on the upper level, and kind of make your way towards her. There's maybe one other group of like merchants there eating in the morning, late afternoon, and she just kind of looks at you out of the corner of her eye. You can actually see a short sword on her hip, no other weapons, and she's wearing kind of just like she looks like a noble almost, but you see the dark-haired figure, just his head just slowly turns towards you, and his eyes narrow, and she just kind of looks over at him, and her head turns away, and she says kind of something under her breath. And his body is still tense, but he seems to kind of relax, just slightly. And she sees you coming up, and like, hello, friend. What can I do for you?
Oh, well, I don't know. What can I do for you? You seem to be staring.
Oh, I apologize.
Don't apologize.
She kind of smiles at that. And you in town?
I am.
I thought so. Where are you from?
Nindor.
Never heard of it.
It's far away.
Oh, I bet it is.
Chef. Okay.
You gotta talk sex.
If you want this to work, you gotta work.
You gotta work it. Get closer to me. Sit there.
I do imagine the camera just out of focus behind it. We're
smelling each other's arms.
Like,
you see like you kind of catch us out of curiosity. You see like a waiter come to him and just turn around and walk away.
I'd like try and shift to get myself between her and them so she doesn't see.
She goes, I'm always looking for
Love.
No.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Information. And you being new to the city, as am I, actually. Thought that maybe you might have an idea of maybe some of the goings-ons around here. I am just recently here, but
Well,
you seem to have a bearing about you that you might know some things.
I might know some things. But what reason would I have to disclose?
Out of goodwill, I would suppose.
I suppose you'll be returning the goodwill?
Oh, I would, of course. And you're trying not to look at the figure sitting next to him, and he's just, like, staring daggers at you.
I think eventually, after enough daggers, I'd say, unhappy to see me.
He just doesn't say anything. He just stares at you. Don't mind him.
I don't mind. Well, a bit.
In fact, give us some room. He stands up, and he's a little bit taller than 6 feet, like maybe 6'2", lean, powerfully built, And as he kind of walks past you, he doesn't like give you a shoulder or anything, but he's moving with purpose. You know, like he walks toward, like there's a chair in the way, instead of like pushing it out of the way, he just kind of like expertly kind of walks around it, almost like he's just trying to
Uses his space.
Yeah,
Fills his space.
Yeah, like he's just, it's almost like he's constantly in like a, combat pose. He's kind of like got his eyes, he's definitely watching these two, but he just goes and just sits down on the table on the bottom floor as you two sit there. She goes, I'm looking for someone, and I heard that you might have some information about this individual.
And who's the individual?
He calls himself the Whisper King.
Not ringing any bells.
You don't know that, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't share it.
No, well, perfect.
Yeah, so you don't have to lie, I guess is what I was getting
Okay.
to. She's like, that's unfortunate. I had it on good authority that you might know who he is.
And who gave you that?
Oh, just idle gossip here and there, you know how that is. People having a few too many drinks.
You consider idle gossip good authority?
If properly induced, I do. Either way, I'm sorry to waste your time.
Oh, it wasn't wasted.
Good. Well, maybe I'll see you around. You intend to stay in town for very long?
Go where the gold takes us. Goes. You look pretty.
She just kind of like gives you a courtesy smile. Not like a genuine smile by any stretch of the imagination.
So just like,
in fact,
like
give me an insight check.
6.
She genuinely is into you.
Nice.
Yeah, you think.
I'll sit down next to her.
She's like, I'm probably going to be leaving. You're welcome to keep the table.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's all I wanted. My friends.
What was your name?
Tolbar.
Tolbar.
And yours?
Miris.
Miris? Miris. What a beautiful name.
I know. And she just gets up and just kind of glides past you and just kind of like her hand just kind of grazes across your shoulder, like accidentally as she's leaving.
Figures.
And you're like, oh yeah.
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 Gunn and I are smelling each other's feet.
Yeah, we're unlacing boots. Like, all right, hold on.
Give
me a second.
I'll be like, it's so disgusting, but I can't stop. I have to know what that smell is. It reminds me of some. Your foot smells so. It's like a singular
It's a bit
smell.
like cheese mixed with maybe a little bit of rot. And is that bacon?
And you see Shou-Chi come out from the back. And he's like, gentlemen, please, keep your shoes on.
Did you idiots see that? As soon as she's out of earshot. Did you idiots see that?
And she left. She got up and then her associate left with her.
Like,
Just pointing like,
what did we see?
the most beautiful woman. Now mine.
I didn't see nothing, mate.
Ah, she loved me.
Making it up.
Thank you.
She stuck around pretty good, so I suppose you've got longevity in there.
She said she'd see me around.
She couldn't get enough of you, I guess.
Congratulations.
But if you oafs hadn't been oafing, smelling each other's feet.
We were doing scientific research.
Right.
On our-
Engaging on the spectrum of how smirched our belongings were. Pretty smirched, is it?
Well, she wanted to know about the Whisper King.
What did you say?
The Whisper King. She said she had it on good authority that we knew him. I said I had no idea about a Whisper King.
What did she look like?
I don't know no whisper.
Beautiful. White hair. And skin.
Skin?
Lots of skin.
Full body of skin.
The best.
She tall. Well, I guess everyone's tall to you, but taller.
Was she taller, did you say?
I mean, she's Alfred.
She was taller than me. I don't have a good
She got
gauge.
pointy ears and rounded ones.
Pointy-ish.
So a pointy, good-looking elf lady.
She looked like that.
Okay. Right. Sounds like you're describing one of me family. The elf part, not the human part.
I was gonna say, I'd love to meet your family then.
Trust me, you don't, mate.
So you think she's
The
sweet
one,
on
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed that way. Though she did want information, so maybe,
Yeah.
probably not.
Just
but
to
maybe
go back,
she just wanted information.
let's assume for a second, and of course I believe that you had a real connection.
Oh, yeah.
But if we're playing possibilities, could she have been asking you for information and only been interested in that information?
Nope.
No way. She was into you. The way she was looking at you.
Yeah, I'll get it. Maybe she mixes business with pleasure.
As she walked out the door, she kind of did that, like, look back over her shoulder at you and gave you a longing.
Well, was it just her? She have a sister? Does she have a boyfriend?
She was with
She have
him.
2 friends.
She had one friend.
Yeah.
He was not friendly. I don't think he felt the same way she did about me.
Was he
Which,
handsome?
who does?
He was.
tall.
He was very handsome.
Tall and handsome.
He had very, like, angular features.
They could be playing jealousy games with each other. I've known a few people to do that. It's a dangerous game.
Or they could be looking for a little fella to be a go-between, as it were.
I'd prefer to be more of an end than a between.
Yeah, I bet you do.
They were ready to smirch.
You were gonna get smirched in that situation.
Anyway, Whisper King. Huh?
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't suppose you know of any Whisper Kings.
Do I? What would make you think that I know a Whisper King?
Well,
Do I look like I've ever met a king in my life?
rats, kings.
I mean, I'll let you just say that you can tell that I'm lying.
He's hiding something.
Yeah, I'm hiding something. Yeah.
He's
So
hiding
who
something.
is he then?
I'll be like, well, if I did know a Whisper King, people are asking information about a Whisper King because they don't know who the Whisper King is, which is how the Whisper King would want it to be. So if you're telling me that somebody's asking about it, that means they want to know. And if you're telling me that your soon-to-be girlfriend is asking about it, then I think you'd be inclined to
I don't know
talk
about
about
soon-to-be.
who the Whisper King is. If I told you there's no reason with this tall, beautiful elf that's so into me that you wouldn't be
Half
like,
elf.
oh, I know the information, but I won't tell you because you're the love of me life.
I mean, can we assume who the Whisper King is? I mean,
No.
oh no? Okay.
No, not at all. Give me a perception check. This was something kind of after the fact. No, just him. Sorry.
6 plus 2, so that's
Okay.
an 8.
Yep, you didn't notice
So
anything.
let's just revisit this. You do know who this Whisper King is,
Hypothetically.
and you and your girlfriend,
That's right.
well, she's clearly trying to get this information, which somehow
sounds like the only
seems to
thing she's trying to
be
get.
a fairly big secret. Am I right about that?
If I did know, yes, it would be a big secret.
I see. So she heard from us. Can't imagine how we've been tight-lipped for at least the time we've been here.
At least since this morning. I,
Yeah,
could,
your smirching never
I could tell you
revealed
this.
any information.
Like, no matter how rowdy I got, I certainly, if I did know the identity of
You
a
don't
Whisper
remember
King,
that.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm just-
I feel like he would definitely not. He might say that he knows the Whisper King, but I definitely don't think he would ever give up.
No,
It's
no, I would
it's
agree.
so deep.
I would agree.
But yeah, I do imagine in the rowdiness he might be like, I know a fucking Whisper King.
Yeah, because it would have come up.
Yeah.
Because he is a known entity in the city.
Yeah. Someone's whispering, and it's like, you pay fealty. That Whisper King.
Yeah,
Stupid.
I like it.
Wait, I'm
I
out.
see where you're.
I'm out.
Pop this go.
Well, you have my word. I won't tell her the thing that I don't know.
He would absolutely tell her, for even a chance, at a glance. Made that rhyme for you.
He would do it just to tell her where she's at on the stinkiest spectrum.
I believe she's probably not smirched at all.
She's got probably zero stink whatsoever.
No
In
stink.
fact, she
Oh.
probably smells the opposite of stink, whatever the opposite of stink is. And I'm talking about, like, if stink is hell, So, like, where Gunn's at, and his foot,
Yep.
she's like a lord of light. That's probably how good she smells.
I really like that we've broken almost everything into a spectrum. I really like, when we first started talking about it, I was wrapping my head around it. But now, I see that everything's really just a spectrum, and putting it in those terms really helps me understand. So, you were saying that if Mar's own foot stink is the hell of Smirch, that her hair smells like an actual deity.
Right. Smirch squared. Cubed. In any case, I'll say this. I wouldn't be telling anybody the actual identity of the Whisper King. I do know the Whisper King. That's pretty clear.
Pretty clear.
Just to come clean.
Yeah, we got to that one.
But that would be like me telling your deepest, darkest secret. And mates, I'm a liar, and I can't be trusted with like 75% of things.
Well, more than that.
You're right, like a good 90.
It's a big jump.
But 10% is I don't tell people's real secrets. I don't do it.
Unless it's their black rat name.
Well,
But he's
once,
not a real
I mean, on the spectrum of...
but we got burned. We had a covenant of,
Once you break
in the shadows.
You won't break friends.
I wouldn't break friends.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thank
When
you, Tanaka.
You're welcome.
He had it coming, I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We could have done worse.
Alright, so, what are we gonna do with this, Beautiful woman comes looking for love. Clearly she's actually in for something else. I mean, she's asking us, probably because we made a name for ourselves. I mean, people sees us about town, they know that we was the boys who beat a Thry Queen.
No,
not a Thry
Just
Queen.
afraid.
Just afraid.
Don't know what a Thry
A
Queen
bugman. A bugman.
Bugman.
We beat the bugmen. We made all kinds of new friends. We smirched 9 out of 12 locations in this city. And at the end of the day, we came out ahead, made some money, made a reputation for ourselves. So clearly,
Found
we
love.
are kind of the movers and shakers here. So she came to us thinking she could get that information.
And love.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Definitely looking
Yep,
for
yep.
love as well. Again, business and pleasure. Spectrum, really. She's right in the middle. We need to find out who she is
Yes.
and if she is willing to hire us.
Maris, you say? Oh, wait, did you say Eris?
No.
Maris.
Miras.
Maris.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that's good.
Yeah.
Good, Maris. That's a
not
nice,
not
pretty
Eris.
name.
Who's
Let me
ours?
ask you this.
Who's ours?
Did she look like she was rich?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Smelled nice, is into you, and is rich.
May leave you boys behind.
Well, I'll tell you what. You can have mind, body, and soul. We will have some of that gold. I believe there's an opportunity here. And everyone can win, really, at the end of the day. But did we, or did we not, come to this place on the sea, in covenant with each other, to make monies?
We
did.
We did.
We did indeed. We did indeed.
As you were discussing this, Shochi comes over and he says, "Oh yes, I forgot. The note was left for you."
You think it's her? Who left it, may I ask you? Was she a beautiful woman?
Definitely was not beautiful.
Alright. Bark up a different tree.
Nope. Yeah, it's from Volkart.
It's from Wolfguard.
Ah.
What does the note say, dear DM?
It just tells you that he has an opportunity for you.
I'll, make a harmless effect of lighting it on fire and one of
nice.
that, and I'll be like, sounds like our book's ready to go, boys.
Oh, it's not a fact. Well, it looks like when the Lords of Light open a door, they also open a window. So that's a breeze through.
Very common expression.
A couple of different opportunities coming our way.
I think I would ask, what's his name again?
Shochi.
Yeah, Shoji.
Do you know anything about this Smirches?
Who?
The beautiful woman who
Oh, the elf.
fawned over me? Mm-hmm.
I've seen her around a few times.
How long's she been in town?
I don't know. Maybe a day? Maybe more?
But not more than a couple weeks, for sure.
No.
Not a local.
No. No, not at all. Not that I know.
Penchant for halflings? Or this one in particular?
That I would not know.
This one in particular.
Well, I believe it.
I hope you're right, mate. But take it from somebody who's dangled love out in front of him to get what he wants from other people who might want to bite down on that love. There's a good chance she's got her own agenda.
I don't want anyone
Be careful
biting
about-
down on my love.
That's what I was thinking.
You head over. We'll quit here in a second. I just want to get to one more point.
Yeah, I think you go.
Spill
Yes.
a little ale on you.
So you make your
Don't
way
let it go
back.
to waste.
Yeah, take some.
You make your way back to the orphan. Not the dam. The dam.
The damned orphan.
Damn, orphan.
And Wolfgar is there. He says, "You've been busy, I see. Directing much attention."
We
It was
had-
more like establishing dominance, really.
Well, we had a good time. Yes. Some people know who we are. But it also makes it seem like we're a bit of buffoons, and that we'll be doing anything. It won't be strange when we're in any given place, and they won't suspect us.
I thought you were trying to stay out of the limelight. That is another phrase from my
Is that like limestone?
out of attention.
Off the radar.
Exactly.
That was the plan when we were in here, and when we walked out the door, we decided to have one drink.
Right.
We got a little rowdy,
little
and then
rowdy.
we stayed rowdy pretty much until last
If I'm
night.
being honest, I don't think I've been sober in about 9 days.
I know.
But
Oops.
it's a slight oops. I think you understand. I've had so many rules for so long, I might have done the old teenage getting away from the parents.
What did you say?
I don't know. A lot of stuff. Not...
I mean, we swore a whole lot, and we did get kicked out of 2 joints just on account of the awful combination of words we could come up with.
You seem to have attracted the attention of some foreigners.
Do you think it might be the third eye?
I am sure that is what it is.
I thought it might be too.
Mirrors?
Who is that? I don't know who they are exactly. Not yet.
Okay.
Who is Miris?
A friend I met.
An elf
Oh,
with
of course.
sweet on him.
I'm sure that it's not the
More
same.
than a friend, I should say. Sorry.
I'm sure it's not the same people you're looking for. But Maris, you might want to keep an eye out because she's a beautiful elf. White hair. She's got, what does she wear?
Kind of like a white
elven-
green blouse. She did have like fine chainmail on and a short sword.
A fine chainmail, he says. And her name's Maris, and she had another fella who had a mean look about him.
Angular like,
unfriendly.
handsome, tall.
And she was asking questions.
I think I've heard enough. I think it is best if you lay low for a while.
Can do.
was thinking
Yep,
the same
we was.
thing.
Yep, I need to
Absolutely.
recover.
I have a possibility, something I can do keep in my back pocket, so to speak. Many years ago, an estate up in the Hiddens was a lair laid out for some bandits. They have since gone away. I have convinced the local populace that the place is haunted.
Ah, that's a good one.
Smart thinking. Yeah, ghosts.
Sailors are superstitious, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Genius.
It is not haunted.
Oh, good.
But
What about skeletons, though?
I do not think so. No.
Okay.
You seem disappointed.
I'm just out of curiosity is all.
I see. Either way, I can give you a map on how to get there, get some supplies, lay low for a little bit, and I will send someone once things have calmed down a bit.
Makes sense.
Probably not a good idea to do any jobs right now. Do you agree?
Agreed. We made some money. We can buy a few things.
We did.
Yeah. Very well.
I mean, we did pretty good for ourselves, if I'm being... We're doing pretty good, so thank you for your help, too.
Of course, keep this just between us. Tell no one else about the house. But it is in a bit of disrepair, but it is enough to keep the weather off your heads. It is very good hunting up there, if you wish to do that, but it's off the main road 4 or 5 miles along the coast.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you for the opportunity.
We'll pick up a few supplies discreetly and make maybe another trip to town in a few days. No, we won't. We'll get somebody else to bring it to us.
He said he was sending somebody, right?
I would send someone once they're scared up.
Maybe you could have them come with some extra booze, food. But maybe just booze. We can.
We'll lay low. We've been rowdy enough. We'll take a bath.
He seems to be like ready to just say no, but then he kind of looks at you, and you see him kind of like remember what you did for him. I will see what I can do.
Much appreciated. I would
All right. Yep.
like to, as I lean on the desk going up, since it still fits within there, I want to have the wood recede and say, Maris wants Whisper King. Just for a moment as I stand up.
Nice.
And then I'll just have it go back.
Alright, well he just kind of, you see him just, his eye dark down, and he looks at you, and his eyes kind of like again, he's very squinty-eyed, and his eyes kind of widen a little bit, and then he narrows and just kind of nods at you.
And I'll leave it at that.
Alright.
All right. Well, thank you again. Got this cleaned out, mostly.
I suppose. So,
It's definitely worse.
now it just smells like you.
Yeah. Which, yeah, to him.
It's perfect.
Equals not stink.
Yeah.
Alright, well we'll stop there,
Cool.
and then we'll pick up as you guys make your way to your hideout.
Sick! That was tight.
Nice.
If you could be more serious next time, though.
I'll try.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
That was good. We got a contender for episode title: scientific research.
Yeah.
I like that one. I was trying to think if I wanted to have Smirch in there somewhere.
Yeah. The great smirching.
I was gonna make a Smirchandise joke, but I backed off.
Glad you never did that.
Yeah. All right, let's go launch a raid on somebody. Let's see who's playing now. Oh, you know what? I just followed this person, Adriana of Earth. We'll hit it up. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Later, yeah.
Bye.
Let's see. Raid is going, so we'll see y'all in a bit.
Sister.